Good morning, or good afternoon, or good evening, depending on what time it is for you where you are. Hello, happy Saturday. Welcome back. Oh, you can't see it with this angle. Hang on, let me scoot it. Someone has discovered a new spot in my office. I was moving some furniture, and I thought she would be mad because she usually doesn't like that. But I'd say that she caught on pretty quickly. How's everybody doing today? Yeah, let's have a little coffee while Kat blurrily entertains from the background. Becky, thank you very much for the 49-month resub. Holy moly. That's a lot of months, Becky. Welcome back. Murdered. I am here to do Nighthold. I was almost thinking, you know, it's Saturday. We go visit Gul'dan. We see if he wants to drop the mount. This is tradition. But part of me is like, why am I skipping all of these delicious bosses that offer delicious transmog? What's up with that? Why wouldn't I full clear on any character that still needs transmog? I think I've talked myself out of that because I could do all of my skips and still have lots of characters that don't have the skip left to full clear on, and I could do it on multiple difficulties on them. And also, if I get the mount, which would be presumably in a shorter amount of time if I use my skips, there's nothing that says that I can't further farm Nighthold for transmog, aside from the fact that people might not want to look at this place anymore. Gul'dan boy day. Been grinding up Pandaria Engineering. Everything set up to do the 30-day grind, creating mats for the Sky Golem. Probably grind up Pandaria Alchemy. Yeah, living steel transmutes are nice to have. I hear those are expensive. I haven't looked in a while, but that used to be one of the big bottlenecks. Hang on a sec. I'm gonna be having one of those weeks where I'm on alert. What day is it? Saturday? Yeah. And I put my phone really loud so I don't miss anything. The EU realms are about 230 gold each. How many do you need? Alright. I will start on Mythic and then work our way down. I think I will do skips, because when I was looking at all the things, there wasn't actually... Also, I feel like I've lost music. I don't feel like I have sound here. Sound music, is it on? Yeah. Am I muted on my end? Yeah, that's what it was. You guys can hear it. I just can't hear it. There we go. Head empty. Thoughts? Thoughts? Hello? Full clearing Nighthold. No, I think I'm actually not missing that many things. So we're gonna do skips. The other nice thing about doing skips before you do a whole lot of full farming Nighthold is that if and when the mount does drop, then when I'm farming the raid for transmog, I probably won't need to do Elisand, and I probably won't need to do Gul'dan either, because those are the bosses that I actually have everything from because I've been killing them every week for so long. Don't have that kind of gold to blow, so alchemy grind it is. Oh, there you go. The key with that cat to finding cute spots for her to lay down that she will actually accept and use is rotation. She appreciates a discovery. She likes a nice novel bed that feels new and refreshing, while also feeling a little bit familiar. So she's slept on that. She used to sleep on that chair all the time, like 2 places ago, and I put it in my bedroom thinking she might sleep on it, and no. But I bet you now that she's discovered it's comfy up there. She was on it when I got out of bed this morning. She was cuddling with the plushies. I bet you she'll keep using that. Double winged Ractor. It's the screaming black dragon scale trinket. I am effectively a dragonfly. Cross-realm trading's opened up many transmog opportunities. Almost feels like cheating. It just means that you're using everything at your disposal. I have a tendency to not check other realms because usually I'm not smart yet. I haven't lived long enough to gain wisdom. I'm still operating under the arrogance of youth, and I think I can farm everything that I need. Pardon me. Therefore, I am trying my best to farm everything that I need. Allah, 170. Well, you know what? 177 wasn't that crazy. The mob is like a 5 to 7 minute respawn. And there wasn't a ton, like once or twice somebody would come along and compete with me for it, but for the most part it was just me alone in that tunnel, logging on in between other things, like swiping it down. And then a couple of sessions of me definitely looking at dogs instead of working and then swiping it down in the meantime. So, you know, you get somewhere eventually. There's a rare grats in the forming gloves. Thank you. Rare world drop, gray quality, black eye patch for male wearers. Spotted one in an oceanic realm. Had a friend help me trade gold to get it. I think eventually that's totally the move, because there's some things that are so unreasonably rare. And it's entirely possible that somebody gets a hold of them and doesn't understand and just posts them for like 5K or whatever. You know, even like 10, 50, 100 if it's worth like 500 or more. Being able to actually transfer your own gold is pretty big. I think I might eventually get there, but I like to tell myself I'm going to worry about all the easy to get transmogs I don't have first and then see where that gets me. See how long that takes me, you know, to get like to maybe 90% or 95% with like instances and quests and stuff. I got the gloves 2 days ago, yesterday, something like that. Pretty recently, not that long ago. I posted the screenshot, or I put the screenshot into my Saturday news video that went out this morning. Evoker already has alchemy. Just got a speedrun Pandora alchemy. There you go. Private vendor before gray quality transmog was added. Only option for a proper black eye patch for male. Oh, nice. If you're going to grind out engineering and or blacksmithing, do it on a mechanome. They are the anvil and forge. I had some thoughts about eventually setting up alts that that match, like having my profession alts. Sorry. Here, I will turn it down. I won't turn it off though. I can't do it. Alts that match profession racial, so like having blacksmithing on like a, I think it's a Lightforged Draenei gets a buff for it. Actually, I think blacksmithing has multiple characters that get a buff for it. You know, inscription on a Nightborn, despite the fact that I have an inscription on my undead. Cultiran for whatever, if they don't have another matching thing. I'm gonna Fontanite it. If you did not have a Papal Fez, how much would you pay for it? If I did not have one, I would be thoroughly procrastinating on it. I think eventually, long term, like if it was in my last, like, you know, there's 20 items that I'm left looking for in the game and I'm basically down to camping them on the auction house. Probably like 500k. Which is easy for me to say right now because I'm sitting on 5 mil. You know, it doesn't seem like that big of a deal. But, I think that would still be a steal of a snipe for a Papal Fez. Found out you cannot freeze XP for characters that are 61 or over. So that's the end of my speed team for now. Oh, that is a reasonable number. I'm glad and also a little surprised you agree. Yeah. The profession project will definitely be like a later, like I don't think I'm getting to it this year. I think I've got too much other easier fruit in front of me before I start climbing that tree. Hello, Illidan. How you doing? Oh, you know what we need to make sure we have is we need to make sure that we just turn rarity back on. I have, like, the number's going to be, like, super behind. But now with the alpha version of it, it should at least start tracking it again. So I have no earthly idea how many Gul'dan kills I have, but maybe we'll be able to, you know, keep track of it being more. 5k more rep till down with time riffs. Oh, you're getting there. Don't sell yourself short. Basically 6 mil. I need to check the auctionist and see if I have anything posted right now. I feel like I went down. I might have made a bad craft. Legs. Nope. Okie dokie. Well, we can do that right now because I can mount. Gul'dan stopped counting as well. You know, even with rarity turned on, Gul'dan was not counting. Do I have anything up for sale? Yeah, that's where it is. I have a bunch of I have some stuff. I have some convergence and whatnot. So if we relist some of these, those are probably worth for like 100, but that's about what I'm missing, so that makes sense. Gold go up, that's the important thing. I think it's still more than 3. In addition to those, also have a couple of extra farmers. Oh, private guild for my alt army. Set up professions according to what they already had. Smart. That sounds so delightful and lovely and organized. I've always wanted a private guild, and I've never been bothered to actually, like, set one up and then kick out all the people that aren't me. Because you need a few people to help, right? Raid difficulty. I also, the other thing that has always prevented me from making a private guild is I've never been able to figure out what I would want it to be called. I was thoroughly stumped on the name, and that's apparently important enough to stop me from doing it altogether. My guild bank alt is called This Is My Bank Alt. Last level you can freeze XP for in Dragonflight's 59. Oh. I wonder if they're trying to, oh, I've hidden my UI. I mean, you can still, people do the 61 thing. So I'm wondering if they, like, once you get the character to that level, if you just don't participate in any activities that are going to give experience. Because if you're running through an old level instance, it shouldn't give a 61 any XP, right? That's going to be scaled to, like, I guess it depends on which old level instances. I want to say that they get scaled to 35. Although I may have just made that up. What would having a private guild do? Give you just a bunch of extra bank space. It would give you, and then it would also give you guild perks without needing to be socially accessible to anybody. I have some characters that are not in a guild or in any guild at all, just so that I can just kind of log on to them when I want to be degenerate and hide. And they don't have like guild teleport cloaks and stuff like that. It would also be kind of fun and also unreasonable to work on guild achievements on a single... Well, I guess there's only so many guild achievements you can do with a single person guild. Go for stay classy. Turn off guild chat from chat options. Yeah, but like, then you're still ignoring... There's the possibility that you're ignoring people that are trying to speak to you. That's the psychic tension that eats at my brain juice. Just to stop getting spammed with random invites. Another excellent reason. Had to guild on both my alliance side and my horde side. Own bank, love the space. Freeze at 59, get everything you need. Get to 61, don't do anything that gives experience. Still on Nighthold duty? That's me with Xavier's shoulders. It's just the, it's mostly just the mount. I do need more transmog from Nighthold, and I'm fighting the urge to do full clears instead of skip clears, even though I have 5 characters that have the skip, so I have 15 skip kills that I can do in a week. You'd think that eventually he would cough it up. Therefore, that's a good idea. That makes a lot of sense. Working on guild achievements that are specifically designed to be done with hundreds of people really does sound like you. Bigger bank, place for all my alts farmers to live. I would love for them to add some kind of a personal account bank, especially if it had like a big reagent bank that you could draw from. It would be such a huge quality of life bonus to be able to engage in professions across multiple characters and have them all draw from the same pool of resources. That would be the sickest thing ever. I don't know how technically difficult that is, but I would be real excited about that. Oh, I'm not wearing it. I was trying to beacon from Beyonder. I guess this isn't exactly a great instance to use your beacons anyways, but apparently I'm not wearing my beacon. There we go. Throw it on. Yeah, so if I was to full clear, it looks like I'm missing a handful of things, you know, excluding the BOEs. There's like a few things. There's like a belt from Alluriel. There's gauntlets from Trilliax. Of course, Evoker won't have any tier in this raid. There's some gloves, like some male gloves that I could get. I think eventually I'm going to do full clears, but I can also I've got lots of characters. I want to get them all like a little bit more item level, like just kind of squeak them up closer to 400. But I'm also incredibly lazy, and it's like, well, you could spend like an hour and a half or 2 hours, and you could get them some item level, and it won't even make them any faster. It's not going to give them any extra speed. It's just going to make them a little punchier for doing you know, just to make Legion raids a little bit faster if they're not high enough to one-shot stuff. Or you could spend that hour and a half and just run old raids. There's all kinds of them that they can punch through anyways. Happy Saturday, y'all. Happy Saturday, Dame of Bud. Most people want to share resources across characters, make a personal guild. Yeah, but as far as I know, you can't craft with stuff directly out of your guild bank, right? The nice thing about the reagent bank is you can keep things in your reagent bank and you can just go craft stuff without having to have it in your bags, and it'll draw upon that resource. So having it be like an account-wide connected reagent bank would bypass the need for you to actually go to the bank, figure out what you're looking for, find it, pull it out, put it in your bags every single time. You'd be able to just like have a stash of elemental stuff and a stash of herbs or whatever. Link to a Google Doc that lists everything you need to cover all profession recipes. Everything you need to cover all profession recipes. This must be more complicated than just a doc that has a list of every profession. There must be more than that. Last week you did a random tomb. Thought I missed you getting this mount. Glad I didn't miss it yet. Nah, I was just poking around. I still don't have the tomb mount either. Every once in a while I do Legion LFRs off stream when I'm procrastinating, and I keep thinking, what if this mount drops and I'm off stream? And then I do it anyway. Dislike using the guild bank, it's very slow. Keep forgetting about the reagent bank. Couldn't find so many things for so long. I know a variety of people that have panicked thinking that they were missing Shadow Flame Sparks or Shadow Flame Spark fragments because they had accidentally just dumped it into their reagent bank with the dump all button and like forgotten that it might be in there, and they were like looking for it and they thought they had more and they couldn't find them, and it turned out it was in the reagent bank. That's an experience that's happened to quite a few people. Shaman, Scribe, and Horde, some weird random things like that. Oh, okay. Would you like to come up here, honey bear? Honey bun? Sugar glider? Hey, sweetie. I saw a post for a sugar glider on one of the municipal like animal shelters. Like it was a lost one and they were trying to find its owner, and I think they did. But ever since then I've had sugar gliders on the brain. I have no desire to own them, but I've been calling her sugar glider. Hi, cutie. How comfortable is that chair for humans? The blue one? Not as much as you want. I think it depends on whether or not it naturally matches your height and your back. But I've always found that the pillow on it forces your head forward in kind of an uncomfortable way. When I used to use that as my only couch, because that was originally why I bought it. I was living in the last place. I didn't want to buy a whole couch. So I wanted something cheap and light that I could still kind of curl up in. I would just curl up in it like an egg. It wasn't good for my back, but it got the job done. You could name your future dog Sugar Glider, Shuggy G. Oh man. Every time, like I have a short list of dog names, but I keep thinking of other things that seem like they would be either phenomenal or just hilarious. Yeah, it's the IKEA one. It's the IKEA one. It's not the worst thing for just like sitting around and chatting. I just wouldn't use it for... You don't really want to be in it for longer than like 45 minutes, I wouldn't say. At least not me with my height and my back. It also helps if you can grab a pillow from somewhere to use to help your lumbar support. Reset all instances. But they're inexpensive. Not inaffordable, they're inexpensive. They are light. It survived the move wonderfully. And it served its purpose very well in my bedroom as my laundry chair. And now that I've moved it in here, I no longer have a laundry chair, so I have to actually fold my clothes and put them away when I'm done with them. I moved the chair because I was like looking around my bedroom being like, if I was going to have a dog bed in this room, where does it fit? And that's, especially if it was going to be a decent, like a pretty big dog bed, that was the only corner, that was the only place that you could possibly squeeze it. So I, making adjustments. Which chair is this? It's the IKEA, what do they call them? I'm going to butcher the pronunciation. It's a Poang is how people say it here. I'm sure that's incorrect. You know, they're iconic. They've been around forever. Once looked into pet hedgehogs. Read that they're naturally nocturnal. Still super cute, though. Would you be very offended if I called your background something like the gallery of uncomfortable seating? Oh no, it's basically a rite of passage for my background. I don't know if you were watching back then, when I used to have this black couch in my background. That thing was like $100 on Amazon. And originally it was like the main couch of the household. And then when we couldn't take it anymore, it was relegated to my office seating and office background. And then we got a $200 IKEA couch. But, it had like these big metal support bars and almost no cushioning. So if you sat on it, you could feel these big metal support bars. And it laid out flat, so it was supposed to be used as like a guest bed. And I'm pretty sure I slept on it one time and I thought, this is cruel and unusual torture. Yeah, it was what was in the budget at the time. Hello, Miss Muffin. Nice to see you today. Hi, Hazel. Saga, that's right. Yeah. Big wooden frame, big fluffy mattress pillow in it. Dog slept on the floor. Oh, nice giant dog bed. Remember that couch? Definitely didn't look comfortable. It was a wonderful object to have. So I don't know why I shrank the camera. I'm still talking. I was trying to show off my cat. It was a wonderful object to have, to hold pillows and plushies and to have it sit in the back and absorb some echoes. It did a wonderful job at that. Maybe one day in the next office or the one after that, I will invest in some actually, assuming that I'm just randomly wealthy, I'll invest in some actually comfortable furniture. And then, you know, my partner can like come visit and hang out in the office without being like, owie. It's the kind of couch that builds unwanted character. Interested in comfortable couch suggestions? We have an Ectorp with collapsed stuffing, hurts to sit on. Hey, that was the $200 couch. I might be exaggerating. It might have been $400. But I had an Ectorp for a long time. I actually kind of liked it, at least until the stuffing started to collapse. And also one of the boards broke. It was cheap. The couch I have now is more expensive. It's from, I also don't know if they would ship to the UK because it is heavy and made of wood. When I moved into this place, I treated myself, I got some article furniture, and I love all of it. I am not sponsored, but I'm a huge shill because I love it. My couch isn't super huge, but I think it's pretty comfy. It's not like, you know, a memory foam mattress or anything like that, but I've spent a great deal of time on that couch. Katie, are you sleeping sitting up? No? Almost? I know, I'm tired too. IKEA's great for some things. Found the couches and chairs uncomfortable. The shelf behind me, the box shelf, is also a very popular IKEA thing. And it does this, it's fantastic because I love those things. They're not durable. Like if you had kids that were going to climb on it, it's a terrible idea. You would need to bolt it to the wall and it will probably fall apart. They're all made of particle board. But it's assuming that it's just going to sit and hold up plushies and, you know, it's survived a couple of moves. It doesn't have a hard job, but it does its job very well. Worst piece of furniture ever was a desk chair where the front was much lower than the back. You would slide out of it. Oh, weird. I've seen those like kneeling chairs that are kind of like that, but you're supposed to flip them around and like lean forward on them. Those had a moment for a hot minute. I think my grandmother has one. All the things is the collecting add-on. IKEA furniture more pricey, made of actual solid wood. My dining table is one of those. I don't know if it was all that pricey because it's just like a seats two little kitchen dining table, but I, for that one, made sure to look for something that was actually wood and not particle board. And the surface is a little dinged up, which is understandable because I use it very carelessly. I am not a very careful person with that thing, but it's survived a few moves as well, and it's great. But yeah, I for my future life, whenever furniture is one of those things that like if you get a piece that you really like and you can keep it, you can take care of it when you're moving and stuff, like a really solid, well built like dresser or something is going to last functionally for your lifetime and potentially beyond that. It's just harder to find furniture that's built to last like that. But if you can find something, I feel like it's worth paying more for, assuming that you can afford to do so and that you're some kind of freak like me that really likes having nice furniture. Being careful requires patience, which is elusive. I like having kind of a beater table so that I can just do things on it that I'm not super, without worrying about it. Like I'll paint my nails on it and then I'll spill nail polish or I'll spill acetone on it and I'll be like, oh, oops. And I'll wipe it up or I'll use more acetone to get the nail polish off of it. And I'm not worried about damaging the finish. And honestly, I don't think it has damaged the finish, but I would never do that on like my nice coffee table. I need some areas of my life where I can be not careful. TV furniture unit, huge wood thing, bolted into the wall, ain't going anywhere. Yeah, I have something like that as well, though mine's not bolted into the wall. One big open shelf, lots of shelves. Yeah, I like mine a lot. Although it's no longer holding the TV, which was its original purpose. It's now basically just a stash for my cross-stitching supplies. Why does the attempt number count up when I kill... Like, it's not a personal loot thing, right? It would be in the chest? Because the other one was in the chest. I wonder why it counts up before I've looted the chest. Anyway, Evoker's done 3 attempts, so we're ready to move on to our next character. Anonymous Gifter, thanks for the gift sub. Market for brown furniture is plummeted? Really? I do not really care for when someone has taken, and I think this is not an unpopular opinion. I think this is a really common lukewarm take. But when someone's taken like a piece of wood furniture and they've flipped it by painting it, I'm not a big fan of that. I really much prefer like natural wood textures. Oh, that's funny. I actually, bizarrely enough, have it collected already. I really prefer natural wood textures. I was the gift sub. Congrats, Sylvie. Thank you, Sylvie. Thanks for giving out a gift sub. Congrats to Cabbage Man for picking one up. Ours holds the TV that has not been turned on in 10 years. I think one day my TV will have a place in my life, but right now, struggling to focus and working from home, it's just too easy to have it around. And if it's set up, it's just it just makes it too hard for me to like choose to focus on something tougher. Even having it away doesn't guarantee that I'm going to, but it does kind of rule out at least one way in which you could distract yourself all day. Stage in my life where half my furniture is expensive and half is 20 from Facebook Marketplace. I also have at least one piece of furniture I picked up for free off the side of the road, which I'm like really thrilled about. Just because it felt like a very Victoria thing to do. People do that in the city a lot. And I always see stuff out for free, especially if you like to go like a little bit out of downtown into different neighborhoods. People put stuff on the curb all the time. And I found this weird table that I just love. It's like a cafeteria table that was sawed in half, but just the top of it, the bottom of it looks fine. And it's in my office. It's my dishes staging area right now for when I put dishes when I haven't taken them all the way to the sink yet, but I would like for them to not be on my desk. I'm not degenerate. We're going to... What am I doing? Posting elementy ingots or something? Yeah. What is Hazel doing today, chat, besides Gul'dan runs? Well, there's more Gul'dan runs. If Gul'dan drops me the mount, then we can look into something else. I did as far as all the things random chases, I've done all my runs for the Draconic Maul, and I've done all of my runs for the Leggings of Unrelenting Blood. So I could roll a third thing, or I could either roll a third thing, or I could spend the rest of this weekly reset prepping characters to make them a little better at farming. So either working on speed sets, which doesn't sound like me, or just working on getting item level up a little bit so that they can be a little tougher for like Legion raid clears are certainly doable on like a fresh off the leveling track 360 character, but they're slower if you have no item levels. So getting them at least 400-ish would be nice. Oh, thank you, Sylvie. Yeah, I didn't even do a time rift today. I didn't do whelp daycare. I didn't do a time rift. Aw. Hi. Hello. I don't have any current plans to play Baldur's Gate. It sounds fun. Sending energy for the mount drop. Thanks, Karama. Hope your classes go well. Looking into speed sets felt like a grind itself. Yeah, it is. But it's so worth it if you do it, but I'm so lazy. Grats on bullying Foreman Thistlenuttle into giving you his gloves. Why, thank you. Nothing else exists but Gul'dan. You're right, I didn't have Gul'dan out. That's why it didn't drop for me yet. Kitty, I can't believe we're only half done our coffee. We're tired this morning. I was not up crazy late, but I was up later than my bedtime. And we're feeling it. Leveling my to-be speed druid through BFA. Because of the Yazarite gear I know I'll have to get for her anyway later. Oh, that is kind of clever. Yeah, if you could get... Well, I think some of the pieces have to drop at like a specific item level. Maybe that's not the case. I am not super experienced with those. Eventually, though, I should put a few together. I really want one for Crinkle. Because I've been very much enjoying farming Mog and Crinkle because of how many weapons that as a warrior she can get. And also, plate's really satisfying for me to farm right now because I just don't have a lot of plate. I have more of it than I used to. I did some BRD runs on her. And I actually surprisingly got a ton of the different things that I was missing from there. I'm still missing a few things, but I got a lot of like weapon mogs out of BRD that I didn't have before. So my percentage on that one is slowly climbing. Something that I'm noticing as I work through all the things collecting in instances in particular is that getting to like 90% is somewhat reasonable, and getting that last 10% can be life ruining. There's something to be said for just setting your benchmark at like 90 and then worrying about all of those fiddly little things that don't want to drop later, because I feel like you could spend half of your Mog farming life just worrying about that last 10%. I'm gonna let everyone guess who my favorite story character in WoW is. Had to go back to bed at dinner time. Had the hygienist this morning, was dead after I got home. She went in. Oh, do you feel purified? Do you feel scoured? I'm going. I've got mine next week. You're paving the way. Spamming Whirlwind and a Warrior also very satisfying. It so is. I still haven't decided what my second warrior is going to be. I only have one, and I think I need more for Mog farming. Although I don't think I have an excuse in my own brain to start leveling another warrior if I don't have one of every class yet, because surely I should get like all of the class mounts, right? Surely I should have, and you know, for farming tier sets as well, I would need to, you know, get myself set up with a mage and a monk. And am I just missing mage and monk now? I guess I have to level up Wormbin. I feel like she's punched me in the face several times. Really hard. Plants for my new terrace isn't much shading. Any recommendations? Oh, it's much easier to find plants that like sun than it is to find plants that don't want it. If it's like, if you're talking, it depends on like where you live, but if you're talking like hot, excuse you, Carla, hot, you know, burning sun with not a lot of shade from it, then you can look into, and if you just want like ornamental plants, you can look into things like cacti and succulents that like more sun. There's lots of plants that are hard to grow without it that will love that. And that will also not need water like every single day. If you want food plants, peppers I've found always do quite well. Just look at stuff that grows in like hot sunny climates. 4 druids cannot justify a second warrior. Yeah. You can't make it make sense. Thinking my old raid farming people could all have enchanting. Tailoring for extra cloth, disenchanting mats, not sure. What does everyone else have? I feel like it's a tough sell to sell old enchanting mats for a lot of these old raids. I feel like I'm more inclined to just vendor the stuff than try and disenchant and then move the mats. But I could be totally wrong. I could be missing out on a bunch of gold there. I love sitting in the sun. I think this means I'm part succulent. Peppers sounds fun. Peppers are also a wonderful surprise if you're trying to grow hot peppers, because you never know how hot they're going to be, and sometimes the answer is very. I have some lavender too. My lavender smells real good. High rate still need. You actually do disenchant most soulbound gear whenever I do a big farm. Oh, interesting. Maybe I've just not tried it. Perhaps I'm just leaving money on the table. Would you try Arcane Mage or Frost? One of those two, not Fire. I've done Fire Mage. I'm fine. It was perfectly fine, but I think maybe Arcane. When I'm thinking Mage, I'm thinking farming old content. I'm not thinking doing current content. It probably doesn't matter, does it? Are any of the specs faster at running or better at spamming than any other ones? I know that Arcane Explosion is kind of your go-to spammy button, but I imagine that you could spec into that even on not an Arcane Mage. Arcane is pretty, that's true. Oh yeah, Jeff, that's a good point. Those achievements will definitely kick some demand. Arcane is Chrono Shift. I always like the fantasy behind Arcane Mage. They seemed kind of to me like the most magey mage. Just because I feel like Frost Magic, it's not like shared with Resto Shamans, but you've got similar themes with both Death Knights and Shamans, and then you've got Fire Magic, which feels very, you've also got another ranged clothy caster doing fire with Destro Logs. But Arcane always felt like its own thing. It felt like the magiest of the mage specs, which is evidently something important to me. Arcane Barrage. Never got the hang of Fire Frost. Always go Arcane for mage. I think that especially if I'm not planning on playing it really endgame at all, I think I'm safe to stick with the one that I think is pretty, especially if it's reasonably fast for running around in. Hi, baby girl. Fire was very fun, though. I played Fire during its hot season, pun intended, in Shadowlands. I Flavor of the Month rerolled an alt just because it looked like fun. And it was fun! I had a Mechanome Fire Mage, and I did the Mage Tower on her, and I did like a couple of keys and everything. I did the whole jumping up and down during not during Pyroblast. You were casting Pyroblasts. I don't know, they're cooldowns. It was fun. Rip Sally. Give us a Blood Mage. Yeah, it's kind of a crime that I don't have a Mechanome right now. Combustion, that's the word. Thank you. I'd say it was on the tip of my tongue, but it was floating around somewhere in space. It was not close. And you mount luck. Drum roll, gentle drum roll. I've got a cat in my lap. Da-da-da. Nope, not that time. Annoying thing with fire is Ignite, aggroing all of Azeroth, even things you weren't attacking. Race and class was your very first WoW character. I think the first time I ever touched the game, I was playing a Draenei Hunter for a little bit, and then when I got properly started, I think I might have played a Night Elf Hunter. I definitely was a hunter first. Dungeon difficulty. That's why I get nostalgic for them every once in a blue moon, and I'm like, I'm gonna be a hunter again, and then I make another one, and then I get it all geared, and I go, okay, I'll be on the priest. See ya. But yeah, Alliance Hunters. And then that was followed by a Night Elf Resto Druid, and then a Human Priest, I think might have been my first priest. Hard to say. No. It was an Undead Priest first. Audio? No, not audio. Rarity? I'm turning something on. Rarity. Oh, it's already on. Look at that. Like your new hair? Oh, thank you. Mine was Nilf Hunter as well. Yeah, I don't know if it was the marketing or what, but it was supposed to be the fun, easy thing to play for a new character. And I like the appeal of I could be kind of self-sufficient out in the world, because everybody could play out in the world, but back in Wrath, it was harder for some classes like mages and rogues and whatnot that didn't really have a lot of self-healing. They hadn't added in quite as many things to help everybody be self-sufficient yet, so having a pet that can tank for you and being able to heal it was kind of a huge deal, especially if you didn't think you were going to be able to have friends to run around with. So that appealed to me a lot about it at first. Yeah, Squirrel Squad's alive and well in Lightbringer. Elf Druid is second. Pocket healer for my tank friend, who ended up being my hubby. Wanted to add a character, but indecisive on which character. Howdy squad. Howdy super chief. That's a little kitty. Kush Daddy, thank you very much for the 15-month resub. So glad you popped up in my feed. Most enjoyable and relaxing WoW content. Thank you. Thank you. That's over a year. I'm glad I popped up on your feed too. The thing about retail that I would change. I'm going to take change to not mean add, because if I got to just magic things into the game, there's all kinds of stuff I would do. Change is hard. What do I not like about the game that I would change? That's not just adding a new feature. I want my Mythic plus 20 portals to be account wide. It's so annoying that you work really hard and you time your 20s and it's like as soon as you time it, you never use it again because congrats, you timed it on a 20. Maybe for other people, they want to push the 24s, but for me, that was the goal and I never used the portal again after that. And then, you know, they would be great for getting around for farming and stuff, except for the fact that they're really just on the one character that had them. I don't even remember which character, like I change mains too much to really collect them all in one character. And the whole thing just makes me grumpy. Good afternoon, Hazel and chat. Hope you have a great weekend so far. Good afternoon, Aaron. And that's something that I really don't see hurting anybody. I don't see it impacting the economy, really. You still have to time the darn key. 20s are easier than they used to be, but they're not like gimmies or anything. If my pet battle dungeon ports can be account wide, which I'm not complaining about, we love that. We're happy about that. I think the Mythic Dungeon ones should be too. I would give up quite a few things for that. How is you? Hi, Audie. I'm doing good. How are you? I think they have been making a lot more things, either account wide or much easier on alts. They're just stingy about things that they consider to be prestige rewards. But even that they've been relaxing on. They've decided to let people ride their glad mounts on different characters, so maybe one day they'll chill. The reason I'm not just saying make everything ever account wide is because in some cases that's going to have the unexpected effect of incentivizing absolutely degenerate behavior of doing something on like 40 different characters. Like if you make like a reputation account wide, for example, and you don't cap some kind of daily cap for total amount of rep that you can gain on it, then you've just made it so that you can grind this rep 10 times as fast if you use 10 characters and you spend 7 hours that day doing it. And yes, you could then add in safeguards to prevent against that, but all of that just turns into like extra rules and all of these things that make people feel like the game is too confusing and complicated with too many like bits of fine print and limitations. I think that having the benefits of your professions, or pardon me, of your reputations in different characters. And I think that like maybe once you get it to Exalted, having that be account wide so they can all shop on the vendor or whatever, that would be great. But there are some cases for some things. I think Professions is another example where having it just be like carte blanche account wide would have some other impacts. So I don't mind them taking it case by case, but there are some things that would just be real nice. Dad's a bit confused on how Mythic Plus works. Any tips? I think the best way to do it would just be to, if he's an experienced player, just jump into some low keys and you'll get a feel for the format. It's basically just doing the dungeon, trying to do it within a timer, and then as the key level gets higher, you'll get a couple of extra affixes to play with that change like a couple extra rules or like mechanics to deal with. But it's very similar to just running the dungeon regularly. It's just with a little bit of time pressure. It honestly doesn't feel as rushed as you would think it is, at least not the way I do it. When I first heard about Mythic Plus, it didn't sound like any fun because I didn't want to feel like I had to sprint through every second and keep moving at all times, and And yeah, certainly for like competitive Mythic Plus and really high keys and very difficult keys, that's important. But usually the thing that will make you not time a Mythic Plus key is not that you didn't run fast enough. It's that you pulled too much and then you wiped. You made the wrong pulls, or you didn't interrupt the right thing and then you wiped. Those are usually the things that make you not time keys, is if you wipe. So taking it, you know, reasonably carefully is generally speaking the thing you do, as opposed to just sprinting through the entire instance. That was heroic or mythic? That was heroic, because we alluded to the chest and not Illidan's. We're gonna go do normal now. Tips for farming protoform materials. Get a second monitor, throw on some Netflix or something. Throw on a stream. It's oh, and check the auction house for lattices, if that's one of the things that you need, because those are BO. They're not bound, that you can just sell them. 8-hour cooldown, think it's way too much. The 8-hour cooldown is high, but the fact that it resets when you time a key makes it really nice when you're running around doing keys. Unfortunately, by the time I have portals, I'm usually done doing keys. Reset. Difficulty. Normal. There we go. Basically, I've challenged dungeons and we're back in MOP. Oh, you don't have to time it? You just complete it? Oh, nice. Yeah, I think the cooldown hasn't bothered me much since I discovered that about it. I initially thought 8 hours was way too long, but you can just crank through them. Going back to the way support worked, when you can get help from a GM in-game. Yeah, I miss old support too. There's a lot of great things about WoW today, but their support has undoubtedly gone downhill. It's not the fault of the people that are working at it. It's more of us. I guess they're just not willing to spend enough money. Maybe it's gotten too big. I don't know. But GMs do not seem to. It's much harder to get a hold of one, and they do not seem to have the same powers they used to. They certainly can't just like hop into the game and like whisper you in real time and like fix all of your stuff. Or if they can, they don't want to. But I'm pretty sure they can't. I've seen some conflict arising from GMs not being able to or allowed to do the same things that they used to be able to. Hopefully MS can change that. Maybe, but I would be surprised if that was something they went in and changed right away. If the numbers show that the game is still doing fine, even with a less satisfactory customer support system, then it's not going to make a lot of sense for them to spend more money on it. I'm sure they do lose some people who are really frustrated with not getting the support they need, but if you have enough other people that either never interact with it or are fine with it, then they can kind of justify not spending the money on it or outsourcing it. I talked like 3 different ones till I got a guy that was willing to help. Hopefully some people in senior management play WoW. Would be great for the game. Yeah. Very rare I get a situation that involves customer support, really. Same. Yeah. It almost never happens. And after the most recent time it happened, I don't know that I would really contact them again for much of anything unless something was just like so horrifically broken. Or if like it was a broken thing and then they'd acknowledged it and then they were like, please submit a ticket to get this fixed because we can't fix it with a hotfix. Otherwise I would just, bug report and wait for a hotfix because that's apparently all that you can really do. Am I the only one who is enamored by the new 6-month sub fish mount? No, I love it. I am in love with it. It's so good. Somebody pointed out to me that it makes strangely expressive noises when you summon it. And I've not been able to unhear that since. And I don't know if that improves or devalues it in my estimation. It's kind of creepy, but it's kind of cute. Had to use the unstuck thing, worked fine, was solved within an hour or so. I think for things that they are capable of assisting with, it's going to work fine. And especially things that are automated, like item restore is automated now, and character restore is something that you used to have to ticket for that you can now do yourself. Unstuck is another one. It's if you need like an actual person to intervene, it seems like they can't really do it anymore. Every time I see it, I automatically say, my fishy. They have my fishy. Did you get the book achievement sorted? No. The GM told me to wait to bug report and then wait for a hotfix because they couldn't assist with it because it wasn't a known issue. So I bug reported. I'm waiting for a hotfix. And in the meantime, I just checked the vault again to see if I can get a second book because in my brain there's a chance that they do push a hotfix and they sort that issue out, but that it doesn't apply retroactively, and then I'm gonna need to loot it again. It sucks, but I've gotten over it, I guess. Don't hold your breath. I mean, I have to finish it eventually, right? Otherwise, I'm just gonna... Well, I can't collect the books. They're unique. If I zone into the vault and I see another one, I'm gonna delete the first one and then loot the second one and see if that works. Can you do it on another character? I'd have to do the whole achievement from scratch on another character. I would have to go loot the rest of the books also. And I would also have to find the book again. You should have just found it before the patch. I know you're joking. I was trying. Yeah. You've talked me into Shadow Priest? Forsythian is now a part of the family. Ooh, that's a cool name. Is it an undead Shadow Priest? What kind of Shadow Priest is it? Yeah, my understanding from the communication I had from that GM is that they have a list of things that have been confirmed as problems from the devs that they are allowed to fix. And if it's not on that list, there's nothing they can do. Even if it is clearly bugged and not broken with plenty of evidence, if it's not gone through the proper channels, there's nothing that seems like they could do. I never did make a forum post. That was the other thing they told me to do, is they told me to make a forum post to boost the visibility of it. I was kind of hoping that the bug report / maybe the GM could file something, but maybe they don't have access to those channels. Is this the Moonkin form? This is my transmog. Where's Moonkin form? There's Moonkin form. Didn't notice yesterday as my eyes were bleeding from all the dragon races, but you asked what I got, and I got a pet. Nice. She was supposed to be Forsythian, but the name was taken. Make a forum post? Yeah, you could. Doesn't feel like me. Any luck? Nope. You know what else doesn't feel like me is getting this mount. Queen of having that not drop. She is in fact an undead Shadow Priest, having a leveling crisis because she's only 42. BFA will only get me to 48. Really? I feel like if you should be able to get it, you should be able to take that all the way to 60. You should be able to do any of the old expansions and go all the way to 60. Would like to see that Moonkin form. Never really looked at it. It's supposed to be something. Here, well, I'm about to log over. I'll do that after this. Let's clear out some bags. You'd think that the drop rate increased? Yeah. I don't know what the drop rate is, but I'm pretty sure that by now I must be unlucky. That's okay. There's always more chances. Oh, yeah. Oh, campaign only gets me to 48. Gotcha. He's such a bear. He looks warm. Alrighty. He needs to get into Moonkin. The beefy boy. Okay. Why does his bar not have the moon conform button on it? There it is. This is the Kultiran moon conform. Don't mind. Excuse me. Excuse me, Hamul. You've got kind of a drust skull beak situation. You've got like a nice hood and some extra antlers. You've got what appears to be a hardened, decaying corpse on the underneath with some leaves. That is something. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I was zoomed in about this close the first time that I ever saw it and zoned in with it, and it jump scared me. Okay, we're getting him out of the spec because he has nothing set up for there. And then time for another character at Gul'dan. Oh man, I haven't seen his hair in a long time. I forgot about his hair. Zandalari, Kultiran Druid forms, my absolute favorite. I'd love for them to continue. I mean, I guess they have. They've done a good job of adding Druid form customizations, but I'd love for them to keep going. I'd like to see some more that aren't quite so... I don't know, more Moonkin options. Okay, so I did this one, I did this one. She doesn't have the skip, but she could do full clears. Crinkle. Crinkle has the skip. Finally got my Scarlet Crusade tabard for Darkwind Fair tomorrow. Nice. Especially love Zandalari Boomkin. I love that the Zandalari Boomkin has a totally different silhouette than the rest of them. It's the kind of thing I feel like they wouldn't do anymore because they want more visual consistency than that. But I love it. I wish they would make more with that silhouette. Okay, Crinkle, you are off and away. We can do it on Mythic first. Raid difficulty, Mythic. How's our all the things doing? 50. Yeah, so my plate percentage is not much higher than my overall percentage. We're at 54.31 according to this. What if she was doing full clears? Dungeons and raids. I mean, not that I was gonna, because I was gonna do the skip because it's faster, but like, she's missing so many things. Look at all the stuff she could get. Normal and heroic. Mythic, not as much. She has some of the mythic stuff. Oh, hang on. That's that was account mode, not character mode. So hang on. Mythic, she has 85% of. Normal and heroic, she's still missing a good chunk of stuff, though. It's tempting. Appreciate your little video with Inksy and Stormsong Valley too. Oh, I'm glad. I was making that and I'm like, this is really cute and totally unnecessary and really cute. Do you think that kind of visual clarity is worth preserving? And follow up, what if it was just disabled in PvP? I think that the argument that is important for PvP, maybe other people use their eyes more in PvP. I am locked onto my UI. And also, like, I'm using class colors and add-ons to tell me if a person is like a boomkin or like a... I'm not... I'm not playing what Pokemon is that in whenever I'm in Arena, but maybe other people do. I'm certainly not the only person out there. I think some amount of consistency is probably valuable, but I don't... Again, I'm not... No, not really. If you could, like, if you were transmogrifying, if you were customizing, like, your Boomkin form, and instead of it having to be an owl, you could turn it into, like, a bus, or a mouse, or, you know, a gigantic glass of wine. That would be weird, and that would be inconsistent, and I wouldn't like that. I would like it a little bit, but I wouldn't, I wouldn't recommend it. But just having different things that feel like they make sense as Moonkin. I don't mind if they're not all, you know, shaped like a hard-boiled egg. I'm going to rate difficulty, Mythic, very good. Okie dokie, we do the skips. Here's hoping today's the day. Thanks for all your hard work on pet battles throughout the year. Doing all the pet achieves in Pandaria. Your videos are the best. Oh, thanks. If you ever run into a challenge and I haven't made a video, make sure you've got a nice bookmark handy to Zufu. They've got all the good info these days. New spell animations could be quite the MTX avenue as well. Oh, I bet you're right, and I don't like it. I don't want it. So if I did full clear, the only thing that she's missing on this difficulty is a belt. But I'm kind of tempted to do full clears for heroic and normal. I'm missing so many things. Come on, Gold Diddy. Nightspire. He needs to share his mount with me, or else he's gonna go the way of the dodo bird. Would you do the whole raid in it? Switch to highest item level for bosses. It's kind of tough with Legion. When I imagine doing raids in speed sets, I'm mostly imagining doing like older stuff, like basically up through WOD. Because WOD stuff you can, at level 70, you can pretty much smoke through. I guess I haven't tried it in like speed set gear, but I'm assuming that it's not too bad even if your item level sucks. So I'm imagining farming like BC and Wrath and Mop and WOD raids. But yeah, maybe you would swap it back and forth. Ooh. Yeah, I don't know. We need some more zone drops too. Well, I think she's gonna get back on her chair. I think she's thinking about it. She figured it out really fast. It's fun to watch her explore things because she's quite smart. She can't see, but it doesn't really slow her down at all. Just don't bonk your head, okay? You gotta take care of your noggin. Maybe underneath the chair is gonna be the spot. Do we know when season 2 ends? I don't think so. We can speculate, but season 2 will end when season 3 comes out, and I wouldn't expect that to be soon because season 3 can't come out until the new raid tier is ready to release, the new patch is ready, and we haven't even seen... I think they need to spit out 10.17 first, put up a PTR for 10.2, start raid testing. I'm sure they're hard at work internally, raid developing and raid testing right now. I don't know if testing yet, I have no idea. But we're not going to see season 3 until the next tier is ready. Fall somewhere. Yeah, I mean it's already August. Safe break until at least October. Have you read any of the WoW books? I have read The Shattering. I have read the Sylvanas BFA one. I forget what it was called. I read Before the Storm. I've read a couple of them. I haven't read all of them. I've just started a leisurely reread of the Lord of the Rings, and it's exactly what I wanted. I forgot how good it is. I forgot how comfy it is. There's something nice about reading something that's like really rich and really like nostalgic and familiar. And because it's nostalgic and familiar, and I kind of know what happens because I've read it before, I'm not in such a hurry. I get impatient whenever I'm reading a book for the very first time, especially when it's really good. I get really impatient, and I'll read way too long at night, and I'll be going as fast as I can. Whereas with something like this, where I know it's gonna be good, I know I'm gonna like it, and I'm not trying to get to the end as fast as possible. I can just kind of relax a little more and enjoy it, and it is putting me down for sleep beautifully. It's so comfy. Noise me to the end. No end. The first book of WoW novels is not on Kindle. Want them all? Want to read them in order? Oh, you coming back this way? Chair no good? Do I need to put a towel underneath the chair so you can have like an extra special hiding spot under there? I always feel like you're going to be the safest cat in an earthquake because you like to get underneath furniture. Hi. I did not know that. You want to get up here? No? You teasing me? What's up? Hi. Oh yeah, Illidan. Forgot. He does not want to drop this thing. I haven't been able to let go of my big red buttons yet. I've been able to vendor other things. I've done some farming on this character, but not I don't know. Nope. Alrighty. Kitty, should I do full clears for transmog or should I do skip clears for faster mount chances? It feels like he's not going to give me the mount anyway. What if I need to do the full clears so that he has time to think about how much he wants to drop the mount? And then we could get some transmog. Mom, do whatever you want. I'm a cat. Put my cat's bed under the chair before he would sleep there. Full clears for Mog. Yeah, it's kind of what I'm feeling. Not on Mythic, because Mythic I A, just did, and B, don't need that much stuff from. It was like one piece. But Heroic and Normal, I'm missing a handful of pieces that I think I have a chance to get. Yeah, I only have 13 of 33 possible items that could drop for this character on this difficulty, and only 10 of 33 items that I can get on Heroic. And Nighthold Mog's cool looking. Nighthold Mog's nice, so we need more of it. Besides, it's Saturday. What else are we gonna do? And I have this weird feeling that I should get as much Nighthold Mog as I can before the mount drops, because once the mount drops, I don't think I'm going to want to see the inside of this place for a while. So I should try and pick up the things that I need before I have an excuse to take a long extended break from it. Any luck? I had 2 things I could get from him. I did not get either of them. We also have 2 things that could drop from Chronomatic Anomaly. I do have Trial of Style done. They didn't add anything new this time around. I was all caught up on the purchasables from last time. I did 1 Trial of Style queue this time around for Trading Post credit, and I got first place, and I got my Trading Post credit, and then I haven't gone back, so I am undefeated. How often have you ran Return to Kara in the last few years? You know what I should do is I should check and see what I'm missing from there. You're right, I have not poked a toe in there. Let's see. All the things. Account mode. And then, can we collapse all of this? Legion, Kara. So I have 71.5% of all of the possible Mog from Kara on all armor classes, armor specs. I'm missing a lot of gray zone drops. I wonder, King, Queen, oh, they're from chess. Interesting. I wonder if those are rare. If Jeff's still here, he'd know. And then Mythic is, yeah, I have a decent chunk of this stuff on the other difficulties. A few bits from old Kara to get to. Oh, I'm sure, yeah. So yeah, I could farm a few things. How do you decide what to farm when you aren't doing ATT random? I'm kind of sort of going in chronological order. So, not worrying about Legion yet, but like in classic dungeons and raids, I'm kind of sort of, whenever I'm not chasing a random thing, poking around these to see what I can finish. So I actually finished getting all of the Black Fathom Deep Smog, so that one shouldn't be on this list at all. I've been doing some Blackrock Depths runs to try to get the rest of the stuff from there. There's a lot of stuff in there, but I've been picking up pieces here and there. Same thing with Molten Core. They're slow grinds though. They don't drop a whole lot of loot, and all of the tiers, like, it has to specifically drop for the character. Oh, nice. I got my Chrono-Tempered leg plates. I needed those. Do you have the 3 toys from Seat? I don't know what those are. Inspired me to try something similar. Gonna focus on trying to get all the bow transmogs. Weapon type to start with. That's smart. That's super, super smart. They're tedious. Oh. They're kind of fun, though. Molten Core is a lot of running. But it's really nice having pet dungeon ports because I can just kind of zap myself there. I think that's the other reason I've been farming so much Blackrock Depths is I can just port myself there on any character that has a $1 cooldown, a $1 Hearthstone off cooldown, which is just a 20-minute cooldown. I can just literally Hearthstone a $1, walk 2 steps into the pet shop, port myself to BRD, and I'm there. 3 rare toys from Seed of the Triumvirate. Oh, I for sure don't have any of that. Unless I somehow accidentally had it drop for me while it was current. There's no earthly way I have that. I'm also not a really big toy collector. I'll get them if they're in front of me and if they're in my way, but $1 Hearthstone is already a toy. Do you mean BWL? No, BRD. I'm also farming BWL. But Blackrock Depths, the dungeon with the Grim Guzzler and everything in it. On one hand, I feel like I've 100% bitten off more than I can chew. But it feels nice to have lots of things that I can do to make progress on my on my goal. Which is just to get as many appearances collected as possible. Hi! Trilliax, when we do get him, could on this character... Is this account mode still? Yeah, there we go. Trilliax has... I have none of the 3 things that he could drop for me. He's got a belt, boots, and a tier cloak. Is that what it is? Yeah, tier backslide. I forgot they used to do tier cloaks. Because I took Crinkle to the Catalyst, she actually has some Vault of the Incarnates tier. She has Vault of the Incarnates 4-piece. I catalyzed her Primalist gear. I also found out that the Primalist gear that you buy, the blue stuff off the Elemental Overflow vendor in Veldraken, you cannot catalyze that as is, but if you have those eggy things, the Storm Sigils, to upgrade it, those pieces are identical to the ones that come from the BOA tokens, and those pieces can be catalyzed. So if you're looking to fill out extra pieces and you don't have any more... I was trying to fill out the Vault of the Incarnates Transmog set on my Evoker, and I was out of the pieces of Forbidden Reach gear to catalyze, but I had lots of Elemental Overflow and I had extra Storm Sigils, so I just bought the pieces and then I upgraded them and then I catalyzed them, and that worked. So I have that full vault set now. Did I get anything? I got the boots from Trilliax that I needed, so 1 piece off the list. Luriel has a chest piece and some bracers that I'm looking for. I also wouldn't be mad at any BOAs that want to drop. Or BOEs. Do you have the fishing vessel? I believe so. I've got the fishing raft. I also have the Tuskar dinghy. I like those dice. Love having funny toys with ostentatious effects to randomly use during Mythic Plus. Which are your favorite ones? Which ones do you like pulling out? I have a tendency when I'm bored waiting for like a key to start, I will just tab through, like maybe you're waiting for somebody to log on or someone's like caught on a loading screen or something. I will just tab through my toy journal and I will just press everything. You gotta learn which ones that you're not supposed to press because they have, because they'll actually like stun you for a while. Most of them you can click off the buff. Wish there were more tender options to go farm old content. This was the first month that I got tender for farming old content that I actually did like enough raid bosses for it to count. Aluriel, would you like to drop me chest piece and bracers? Bauble for Heroic Leap is macroed. Glimmer Flies is a favorite. I gotta try it. Assuming that I have one. No luck. That is good. Farming old content on solo shuffle. Cute. Favorite toys is the Minikin statue. No one found out I was the one turning everyone into pumpkins during our break time. I think it's fun how different toys will kind of like go into and out of style. Maybe they're not always toys. Maybe sometimes they're engineering items. Shadowlands was ground zero for swap blast griefing. Swap blasting was rife in... No, that's not how you say that. There was a lot of it, and it was out of control, and I'm pretty sure at least half of it was labby. The one owl and Bastion who wanted to fly. How many toys do I have? I have 663 toys. That's not nothing. It's not bad. It's not all of them by any stretch of the imagination. I'm sure I'm missing some easy ones because I haven't made a point to go collect toys. I got a B-Way cloak, which is nice, but I already have that one, which is less nice. I need to trade it, although it's learned from another item. Do I learn it for the item ID? I might. That sounds like me. Get 3 more. What, the Seed of the Triumvirate ones? During Painsmith Prague? He would have a soulstone and our shaman. He'd always try to res us outside the platform and kill everyone. We've had some group reses with the Savior, and every time it manages to kill people, and it's always funny. Like blowing bubbles. The rainbow at your butt as you sprint is fun. Sometimes when I'm just trying to make a ruckus, I like Ring Flinger or the Darkmoon Whistle. There's a couple good Darkmoon ones that are just for raising noise, making things. I did equip it for item ID. I am that person now. I keep saying that I'm not collecting for item IDs. And and I'm still not collecting for item IDs. But you know what is definitely making me at least try to learn them whenever they're in front of me is the fact that the data for Azeroth rankings seem to count item IDs and not shared appearances. So if I want to raise my ranking, my appearance collection ranking in data for Azeroth, getting as many item IDs as I can is a nice way to boost numbers. BFF necklace is nice too. Target my favorite person in raid. I like to pass that one around. I like to show appreciation to my fellow healers and other my raid buds. What else do I like to use? I've got the transmogrifier now. That one's too new. I haven't used it that much yet. Sometimes I use Tyvan's whistle and it summons the gigantic doggy. Just enormous. You're going for ranking? Oh boy. It's funny, if you look at the Lightbringer rankings, I'm somewhere in the 20,000. Here, let me pull it up. Let me demonstrate with some info. Also, this is a great way to infect people with data for Azeroth so that I'm not the only one that has to suffer. So here's one of our favorite fan sites. Data for Azeroth, where you can track your character's progress against other people in your server and just other people in general in all kinds of different things. I can see that I am the 5th ranked player in Lightbringer for mount collections with 83% of mounts at 871. I can see that I am my pet collection. I have 95.4% pet ranking, which I think might include both level-edness and pet collected, or maybe it's just pets collected. That's the 7th player on Lightbringer. But for transmog, for appearances, I am ranked 22, which mind you is still out of quite a few people. It's nothing to sneeze at. But I'm ranked 22 with 37.6% of appearances. And I started this whole thing at like 25. So as I keep grinding, I'm like very, very slowly climbing the rankings. But you can look at these numbers and you can see, okay, 25, 25, 25, 25. And then you scroll up and it's like 25, 26. You get kind of up into the 29s once you're like getting close to the top 5. And then you've got 3 people that are all at like 31,000. And then the number 1 person jumps all the way up to 43,000. This person collects. That's so funny to me that if you bar graphed this, the number 1 spot would be so much above the above everybody else. I did see the graphs. Yeah, if I go back to my own appearances, yeah, you can see it. You can see it as a line graph over like you can see your 7-day progress, your 30-day progress. I can see that on July 6th, the API reported me having 24,461, up to 25,488. So just about 1,000 appearances. Is that right? It might be. Going from July to August. That seems like both not very many and also a great deal. Yeah, this is account-wide, totally. This is account-wide. So that's one of the reasons. Not a very big reason, but that's one of the reasons why I'm targeting all armor types and all weapon types, is because it's going to help that number. But that's also item IDs as well as the other thing. So if you really want to be perfect on that, you would need to be collecting not just every appearance, but every item. RIO for collectors? Pretty much, yeah. It's not a lot with how many to collect, but also a lot with how many you've collected. Number 3 in completion score on my realm concern. It's real good. It's a lot. I always thought it was funny that my mount collection ranked better than my pet collection, because I always thought of myself as more of a pet collector than a mount collector. I've been slacking more recently, but it's I always thought of myself as that. I always thought my pet collection was more impressive. But yeah, that's a fun site to look at, especially if you collect really anything in particular. Being able to see where you stand in your realm rankings is and then seeing you know, how many things do you need to get in order to move up a spot. Tychondrius has a bunch of stuff that you could drop for me. You want to give me some tear shoulders, bud? I would appreciate that. He gave me a belt that I needed. That'll help too. And we gotta go do Croesus. That site is the definition of hardcore casual. The place that we were just looking at is a third-party website called Data for Azeroth. So it's not an add-on specifically. This over here on the left-hand side is all the things, which helps as well for showing you things that you need to collect inside the game. Back. Welcome back. But yeah, it's one of those sites that you can just kind of look up your character and see. You don't need like an account or anything like that. You could just armor yourself or your friends. If you have a friend that collects a lot, you can punch in their character name and see exactly how progressed they are. I have the number 2 mount collection in my realm, but the number 1 person is literally number 1 US, number 2 world. Sometimes realms are real competitive like that. Sometimes it's nice to be a big fish in a small pond. For Mythic Plus, Lightbringer is a big pet collecting realm, but it's not that big of a realm for Mythic Plus and for endgame raiding. There are people that do it, and there are certainly people that do it at a higher level than me, but it's not like a huge thing or anything. It's not like if I played on Storm Rage or any of the other like mega servers. So when I'm pushing raiding, like IO raiding on my evoker, on Preservation Evoker, I can realistically crack like the top 10 Mythic Plus prevokers on my server, and then it's like, that's always kind of a fun ego boost, because it doesn't mean that I'm actually like super sick or anything, but it's a fun thing to make yourself feel better about all of the keys that you do on weekends. Love how each realm has its own culture too. The site can show collected and non-collected items. I usually prefer I don't use it for that, but it can do that. It's a fun one to poke around. 5th in my realm for pets, 7th for achieves. I can't look at achieves. It'll make me want to farm them, and I'm busy with the Mog thing at the moment. Occupied. Croesus? Just gloves, actually. Croesus is just gloves. Did I forget to go do Botanist? Did I forget to go do Star Augur? What have I done? No, I did Botanist. I did Botanist. We got a couple of pieces of transmog from this folder. Think I got a simple armor in my pet collection? Slipped to rank 176 for pets and Sargeras. I get the belt? I did get they're gloves, but I did get them. Crinkle also got the achievement for looting 10,000 gold. Which is good. I have a feeling that eventually my Mog farming to gold ratio is going to be a net negative because I'm going to spend more gold buying Mog than I get for farming these instances. But for now, it's not, because I'm pretty cheap when I'm shopping and I'm doing a lot of farming, and you do get some amount of gold incidentally just from all of this. How's your day going? Hello, the Lord Mathis. Day's going not too bad, not too bad. I do foresee a Saturday afternoon nap in my future. Hello? Hello! Is Floyd here now? Zoom is quite rare to be owned. Didn't think what you had to do to get it was quite tricky. Of course I have to check and see if I have it. Zoom was... Oh, I kind of remember that. He has little, little mirrors. Or headlights, I guess. He has little headlights on his, Oh, I forget the name for them. They have a name. Twitch is all messed up. A few people have mentioned that Twitch has been dropping the ball today. Twitch doing Twitch things, yeah. Curious what ATT would give you if he selected achievements. And we're never gonna find out. Eye stalks. There's like a scientific word for it, though. I think, anyways. There's scientific words for most things. Liked your video today? Well, thank you. I'm glad. Sometimes late on Friday nights when I'm making those, I get in my head about how nobody cares. And it's not true. There's always at least somebody that wants to watch them. And then I remind myself of that and I get over myself and I make the video. But it's always nice to hear. I think I appreciate that. Probably a specific snail anatomy word. I'll know it when I see it. Hang on. Or I can Google it. Aumetaphore is an eye stalk. That's not what I had in mind at all. Maybe I didn't know the word. Maybe I'm thinking of something else. I never kept land snails, at least not after 3rd grade. But I kept aquatic snails for a while. Eye stalks. Nice for each class to have another class armor? Like a quest line in the jungle for hunters and stuff? Snail stalks. Snail stonks. Snail stonks are up. Am I sad about the demise of the Pac-12 conference? Should I be? You know very well that I live under a rock. I live in the dirt. I am an emu. Or is it an ostrich? Bury their heads in the sand. It's a nice rock, to be fair. I trust Yurchi enough that he's not trying to trick me by asking me about something like super controversial. I don't think it's bait. I think it's just oh man. Once Halo gets going on NCAA American College Football. National Committee of Athletic Athletes. We guessed it, right? Yeah, I think that my rock has... I can only blame so much of it on rural Canadian, which I must be clear, wasn't that rural. It's not like I never saw a car. But also, I think it's more to do with the fact that I just like staying home, and I don't know. I'm the kind of person that will find things that I like in life, and I'll just do those things, and I'll never wonder about the world outside. If I was in Pocahontas, I never would have found out what's around the river bend. I would have, you know, lived at home, enjoyed my corn, and had a lovely time. I'm not really the I'm not the big exploration adventure type. I like to find an adventure and then do that one 35 times. So that's usually where my rot comes from, is it's self-imposed. I just don't look for things. National Collegiate Athletics Association, basically what you said anyways. You said there was a bait store that's rural. I mean, it was just a general store that also had bait. You could also buy like a Coca-Cola there if you wanted to. I'm sure they had Gatorade. I mostly went for the worms. Conference in American college sports. Does the conference imply they're not fighting, competing? Or do they get all the athletes and they put them through like a workshop and they're all thinking about ways that they can have more fun in soccer or football? They're brainstorming, they've got their pencils, they've got their Scantron sheets. Oh, Anduin, I'm so sorry, that sucks. I hope it feels better soon. Bait/farming stores rural? A little bit, yeah. If you live in an urban area, depending on where you live also, and depending on... Yeah, no, you know what? I think it has more to do with proximity to fishing. I'm pretty sure... I don't know. I just know that it's not everywhere that you can just kind of walk to the corner store and buy a bucket of worms. Because I've lived in some places where that would be weird. But then again, they were also farther away from fishing. I'm sure the places that had the bait were closer to fishing spots, you know. Scantron just took me back. Wow. I miss the days when my success was just metered by how many correct answers I could learn for a test. Do I? I shouldn't. But I felt like life was manageable back then. Did I? No, that's not true either. I think test anxiety was the only kind of anxiety that I wasn't plagued with as a young person. Tests were the one place I was like, yeah, I know this. Why don't you guys know this? Weren't you paying attention? Insufferable. Don't miss school either. Yeah. I miss spelling tests because those were the epitome of me knowing how to do something. Spelling tests are basically, you know, cheating at academics if you are a kid that liked to read. I am done with that one. We need to do heroic and... Oh no, that was heroic, because I did the mythic skip and then I just did a heroic full clear. And got a couple pieces. If I do a normal full clear, I might get some more pieces. Natalie, thank you very much for the brand new sub. Appreciate it. Did you do spelling bees? I don't think they had any locally. I liked the idea of them, but I think I was also... I think it would have been a thing you would have had to travel for. Like some of the Nighthold sets. Druid, Paladin, Hunter. Regale us with more stories of your third grade nemesis. He was probably a perfectly nice kid. I don't know what happened to him. I don't know what happened to anybody. That's one of the side effects. Benefit or drawback, depending on how you feel about it. But one of the side effects of not being on personal social media is that, and also of having ghosted your life multiple times and moved from place to place, is that you kind of lose track of people. So I've never been to like a school reunion. I don't know what anybody did after high school or anything else. Also didn't go to high school with this kid. I'm pretty sure he moved away after elementary school. But I betcha... I guess it's hard to say because people that knew me as a kid in like 3rd grade or 5th grade would probably have guessed that I would have gone on to get a degree and to do something academic-y because that was my whole life at the time. And I don't know about you, but I don't see this as being particularly academic. Nerdy, maybe. But if I had to guess, I feel like he probably did something cool and makes a lot of money now. I don't know. He was just like a driven, organized kid. But I'm sure I'm not the only person that went through the gifted kid to unmotivated mess pipeline. I feel like that's an extremely common pipeline, and maybe that other kid landed on it too. Any luck? Oh, I got some Lifestone toe kickers. I want to get up and take my 10:30 break, but my cat is so comfy and so sleepy. I think I can probably pivot to give her the chair while I'll be right back. What are you doing? There you go. All right. I am back. Not Twitch drops, Twitch Prime promo reward. So you don't need to actually watch WoW streams. If you have Prime, you can just go redeem it in your Prime reward. So it's the silver pig. We have Trilliax with a couple of things coming. Oh, hi bear. I have windows open. It's supposed to get warm later today, but it's still kind of cool out right now, and I think Kitty Cat's cold. I think that's why she's being so cuddly. Oscar, thank you for the 35 month reset. Even though it's not very good, I can't stop using this trinket to make the giant shark swim across your screen and slam into your enemy. Wasn't that like a former expansion trinket? Did it start dropping again in Freehold or something? I feel like I've seen that, but not recently. I like fun trinket visuals. I guess I like fun trinket visuals when they proc. I don't know if I'm thrilled about Ratchok's Molten Heart. I don't know if I needed to have the Molten Heart with me at all times. I guess it's kind of cool. I don't really have a legitimate grievance with it. But, I don't know. Getting for the Soup Quest early expansion. Oh. I said well with 382. Gotcha. Love the trinket from Vol'dun that summoned Krogs randomly. I miss it. Save all my trinkets to proc things. What if one day they made all of those just randomly into toys? Laura would be, she'd be all set. Would you like to drop me some stuff? No, okie dokie. I can't believe I've regressed to having skips and not using them. I am in mog farming danger. I need more things. I don't have all the things yet. Transmog multitasking. Just to keep them starting to run out of bag space. Speaking of bag space, I have not vendored. Full clears take so much more bag space than skip clears. Farm raids that don't have skips. When you're right, you're right. What does the Warrior Nighthold set even look like? Ooh, it's cool! I wonder if that would look cooler on not a gnome, or if it looks cool because it's a gnome. There's the Raid Finder color that I have none of. 3 of 9. Look at all this warrior tier that I'm missing. There's so many beautiful opportunities to get stuff. Have enough ults you can farm always in a character that doesn't have the skip yet. That was originally my plan. I was going to do my 5 skip characters, and then I was going to spend the rest of my weekend doing all the non-skip characters. But then, this is my only warrior. And I need so many things. Why won't they drop for me? Alright, well, Trilliax isn't being very nice, but Alluriel, everybody else has like a couple of things they could give, so. I like how if you hover over the minimap button, it even tells you that you're ruining your life. Unit frame modifications. Unit frame modifications. I don't know if I've seen that or not. Best part of the Nighthold skip is how you can more easily target certain bosses. You know what I hadn't thought of? I hadn't thought of using my skip and then backtracking. I know in some or at least I have a feeling that might be completely unjustified, but I have a feeling that in some raids, when you do the skip, you cannot backtrack. When will your transmog collecting cause you to get the tier 3 sets? Listen, after I've gotten the tier everything else sets on all of the classes, then we'll do tier 3. This is projected to happen in approximately 2045. You cannot go backwards to Trilliax, but you could do all of the front, like, all of the front bosses, I guess. That makes sense, actually. Okay. That's worth noting, because I think eventually I will... I might need to use that. Do you have the toy? Probably not. I haven't done a single thing to work on unlocking Old Scholar World Max yet. When she gets the toy by accident, just unlocks everything. Yeah, if it was something that I had to do on purpose. If I could have done it by accident, then maybe. Run to him, then go to the teleport to Elisand. Would that involve a lot of backtracking? Actually, once I get out of combat, I can mount up and clear up my bags a little bit. Aluriel, you have a few things for me, don't you? Yeah, you've got 2 pieces of loot for me. Any luck? Nope. Oh, yes, actually, I need those, but my bags are full. Do I need all these shovels? I don't think I need all the shovels. There we go. Transmog. Why can't I mount? Who is angry with me? Usually you can mount it here, can't you? Because this is going to be a problem. Especially... Oh no, that's from the boss still. I mean, I could start deleting things, but that's no fun. A couple trash that bugs sometimes. Maybe if I, like, backpedal? That's annoying. I'm a gnome warrior, so I don't think I have any good get out of combat free buttons. I could probably zone out in the back in, because the zone out's right there. The Guild Herald pets? No. Bizarrely enough, I don't. You'd think that I did. I think... No, Kringle actually isn't even in a guild. I don't know if it would have been account-wide. Because I swear I used to use those, but then I was looking at it recently and it said I didn't have it. Maybe they're character-specific. Yeah, I think I should probably just zone out. Zone out and zone back in and then vendor, because this is going to drive me nuts. I should have vendored before now. From Heroic Mop Scolo. What's it called? Ah, very good. Much better. The chicken dance is my ultimate stuck in my head at inopportune moments song. Usually when I'm doing something very repetitive like this. Crastinons. I'm sure I don't. I for sure do not have it. I think I remember that though. I might have run the dungeon for it once or twice without any luck. Once upon a time. I think I can just trash all of this, honestly. I think we can just kind of... What about my big red buttons? Here, I'll keep one shovel. Oh, fine, I'll keep the lockboxes too. I'm gonna have to send off these hunting trophies though. I've got a bunch of rep items I'm carrying around for no good reason. Not the buttons. Not the gumdrop buttons. One day somebody's gonna be like, Hazel, why do you have 9 big red buttons in your bag? And I'm not gonna have a good answer for them. I'm not gonna have a satisfying thing to say. Okay, let's go do Star Augur and then Botanist. Star Augur has... tier and then a cloak that I need. Gotta sell the buttons. Love an add-on to sell everything in a specific bag. Make old raid farming so much better. I used to use auto fender, and maybe I would try it again now that I'm farming old raids like this. I used to use auto vendor to automatically sell soulbound items below a threshold item level, and it was super good for clearing out your bags after a raid like that. I did not go enough. I went too far up the stairs. This has happened to me before. I didn't go the correct way up the stairs. Where do you keep your big red buttons? There's a good one. I just thought it was so remarkable that that one item dropped for me that many times. I got the cloak I needed. One more thing off the list. Do we know anything about the Calendar Cup yet? I'm sure people know things because it was testable for a hot minute on the PTR. I just missed the testing window. By the time it occurred to me to go take a look at it, it was over. So I know nothing. I'm assuming there's a bunch of races. You can go do them and then you get the stuff. We'll do it for sure whenever it comes out. When is it? Is it soon? Calendar Cup. It is soon. It's mid-month, 15th. And then Hardcore Classic comes out officially on the 24th. Oh yeah, wrong way. Botanist. Botanist has shoulders I could use. Buy anything at the trading post. I bought the Spirit of Competition pet, the Transmogrifier toy, and I think that's it. I think I left the Scorpion mount frozen again, and I've decided to let the Cleft Hoof mount go. And I didn't get any... oh no, I got one shield in Transmog. I got the Alliance Heater shield. Use scrap for farming. Mark specific stuff to be auto-vendored. When you say specific stuff, do I have to tell it for like each specific piece of gear? Or is it just going to be like, you can't... Are these low levels? Are you going to try hardcore? I might. Just because usually with new games like that, it's kind of a bummer to get into because I know I'm not going to play it forever. I know it's just like a for now thing because I'm too addicted to regular WoW to ever really leave it. But with hardcore, the appealing thing is the fact that once I die, it's like, oops, that happened. And then you can go back to your life. You know, there's like it's appealing to me that there is an end to that story that's not just I got it leveled up and then decided I didn't want to raid. Am I going to buy any of the class sets? I don't know, man. I am hard prioritizing my tender, and I'm mostly trying to get pets, and then like specific Mog that I really like. And there is some really cool Mog, but the fact that it's class specific, I think kind of limits it for me. I would rather, you get the appearances for the legendaries. That's funny. I didn't get the shoulders I needed, I don't think, but that legendary that just dropped, the Cinar Charger, is a helmet that I got the appearance for now. Every now and then I get Legion Legendaries and Nighthold, and they usually teach me the appearances. You can mark items that you don't need once. Oh, okay, so it is a specific thing. I want to try Auto Vendor again, because I want to know if it still works. Let me see. First of all, do I still have it installed? No. Second of all, can I reinstall it? Is it up to date? CurseForge. Because for a while I was just kind of relying on Leatrix auto vendoring, and it felt silly to have Auto vendor is not been updated since Shadowlands. I wonder if it works. I mean, there's one way to find out. A lot of them share with random stuff from old content. Slash add-ons. Auto vendor enabled. Options. Auto vendor. Sell low-level soulbound items below the item level of, say, like 300? 320-ish? I want to know if it works. You used to have to open and close it a few times. You think it'll sell unlearned grays and whites? Yeah, I guess if it hasn't been updated. It looks like it's also not selling. Like, it should be chucking all of this stuff. And it kind of looks like it's not doing that, so I might just can it. Yeah, this one's no good anymore. Alright, well, we tried. You learn the grays and whites as you sell them if you are the correct armor type to equip them. If it was something that you wanted to mail to a different armor type wearer, then you're out of luck. Auto vendor, delete. Reload one more time. Alright, well, it was worth a try. Maybe I'll get scrap. It's just for when I'm running so many different, scrap, bracket, junks. Not easy scrap, just scrap, right? 12 mil downloads, that seems reasonable. When you're running so many specific, or so many instances, and there's like hundreds and hundreds of different things, it makes sense when there's like a smaller loot pool, I guess. Leatrix Plus does not have a feature like that. Auto vendor used to work for it, but it looks like it's no longer working. Also using scrap, it's really good. Can scrap do that without you needing to tell it each individual item? Let me look at the scrap settings. That would be really cool. But as long as I keep my bags pretty clear, it's not that big of a deal to click through everything. It's when you have to like look at everything. Oh dear Lord, undo it at once. It's combined my backpack and I did not consent to this. No thank you. Okay. Kept selling stuff I didn't have collected. Auto sell, auto repair, safe mode, destroy worthless, sell any soulbound equipment that's unusable, any soulbound equipment which has a much lower value than the one you're wearing, consumables too low for your level, which, dangerous. We'll try that. And then there's a character-specific junk list, which I might uncheck eventually. But now, seems a little better. Yeah, that's decent. It can do it. Mark items as you get them if you don't want to auto sell. Because in theory, the options, we'll have to get some grays and then like test it. But the options that I've selected should only be selling like soulbound stuff that I can't use, which is always going to be fine. The thing that I'm not convinced of is if I get like a gray or a white piece and it's BOE and I need to, like maybe I want to send it to a different character. I need it to not do that. But it shouldn't. I gotta get some grays to test it with. I gotta clear all this trash now. But it looks like I don't necessarily have to individually mark things, which would be great. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to do, is have scrap just sell the soulbound low-level stuff, or the soulbound unusable stuff, just to make a big dent in the vendoring. It looks like it can do that. I need to mess with it more just to make sure it's not getting rid of anything that I need, though. The buttons. Oh, that's true, my buttons are gone. It did sell my buttons. To be fair, it had every right to sell my buttons. They were soulbound, they were low level. I did tell it to do that. Sold my grays on default setup. I want to know if the tweaking I did... Oh, I got shoulders I needed. If the tweaking I did was sufficient or not. we need to do Croesus, who will have a couple of pieces. Shoulder plates of the obsidian aspect. Yeah, they're cool. It's part of the tier set. Because if we're going to be running a lot of these raids, we could potentially save a great deal of time. Okay, I got a greatsword. It's a BOE. It has been learned already, but that's besides the point. It does look like Scrap is going to want to sell it. Yeah, Scrap did sell it. And I don't think... What if you want to tell which item sell or not? Drag it from your bags to the Scrap button. So the key binding... Open the Scrap Visualizer tab. Look at your journey. It did sell it, you're right. I think it's just categorizing that as junk. I think it's this one. Let's unclick that and then try it again. I need more grades. I mean, I guess I could actually like buy back my grades and test with that, but that's not as much fun as just getting new ones. Try vendor? I want to give this one a little more of a try first. Corloon keepsake. That's an artifact relic. Or is it a trinket? Oh, it's a trinket. Kags158, thank you for the 7-month resub. I definitely think I can get to a point where an auto vendor add-on will totally work for me though, because I'm not the person that's like super fussy about posting. Well, I guess it shouldn't sell BOEs. That's what I want it to not do. Use the keybind to manually unmark it as an auto sell item. I just don't want to have to do that by item ID. That seems unreasonable. If I could do that, then I may as well just equip the thing and then let it vendor it, you know? That's the other workaround, is you let it auto vendor stuff, but you just get into the habit of checking your bags and equipping and or mailing things before you open up the vendor interface. It's not the safest workaround, but it is a workaround. 3 changes in the code, though. Oh, that's not a me thing to do. When I try and poke around in the code, I break things. It would be nice if it had an option in, like, just in the buttons to not sell BOEs. But to still auto-vendor the rest of it. Did you ever study computer science and coding? No. I did a couple of free coding courses on like the iPad for fun, but no, I never, they didn't have classes like that at my school. And I did not spend long enough in post-secondary. I just know that when I touch code, I break things. It's why it's a miracle that the voice pack works in any way at all. Okay, we got some more grays? We got some more grays. We got some sun-bleached wrist wraps and some pants. So those pants I might potentially wanna deal with myself. So it vendored the grays. I need to actually... It didn't vendor those pants yet. Interesting. I also need to get some epics to see if those will still go. Because I think they should. Also, I'm pretty sure I've just done a whole loop around and not killed a Croesus. Best to learn it when you have a project to focus on. Fixing the broken code, you'll start to learn coding. Let's go kill Croesus and see if he wants to give up the tier chest. No, I just cut my hair. It wasn't long enough to donate.
I just wanted shorter hair. Fix SQL all day. It's fun sometimes. Could you even donate hair as curly as yours? I don't know. It's possible. You know, heaven help the person who has to try and look after it. Okay, no luck there, but we can test more because we have soulbound epics that I want to vendor now, and I still have this BOE gray. What happens if I press the button? Nope, it still sells the BOE gray. It doesn't sell BOE greens, it's just grays. And of course, if you can learn them like that case, they'll get added anyways. I think that might be worth the worth it for me. I know it's not worth it for everybody, but I might be happy enough to just let it vendor stuff and to just try and keep an eye on the grays before, so I can mail them around if I do get anything that needs mailing. I think that's worth the color. The color would have been more preventative than the curls. It wasn't dyed though. By the time I cut my hair, it was completely virgin hair. I had grown out all of the coloring. I never re-dyed it brown. All of the brown was regrown. I wonder when I'm gonna get annoyed with it auto-vendoring the gray stuff. I think if I was somebody who was trying to post the gray stuff for sale, I could never live with it. But because I'm either gonna learn it myself or vendor it, I feel maybe falsely confident that I can keep an eye on them and snag any that I need to mail to my alts to learn. You don't think it sells them in the first open, even if you can't learn them? Good evening, everyone from Romania. How was your day? What are we doing? Good evening, Hectorian. Day's going good so far. It's still morning for me. I've got a comfy cat asleep in my lap. And I'm farming Nighthold for mount and also for transmog. And then I've been playing around with auto vendor add-ons to help me clean up my bags. Gray stuff that drops in raids isn't worth selling anymore. Yeah. If I ever do anything where I'm anticipating valuable gray drops and I'm worried about it, I can always temporarily turn it off. I'm not averse to toggling add-ons on and off as needed. You haven't touched Emerald Nightmare. Not to your knowledge. Sometimes I do things off stream. Good luck hoping for them out. Yeah, me too. I would like it for Gul'dan to share his mount. Starting to feel like one of those things that's just not possible. But yeah, I'm pretty happy just to have my bags clear, nice and easy. Saves a lot of time. Elisand, are you finished? I have business with you. Yeah, no, I'll still do transmog, although I might take a break. Like, if I get the mount, I might take some time off from Nighthold. Apparently on this difficulty, Elisand doesn't have anything left for me, but Gul'dan could actually still give me a couple of pieces of warrior tier, which is funny. I've been doing Gul'dan kills, but apparently not enough of them. Mount drops, scrap sells it. You don't notice. We should have rarity turned on. Yeah, rarity's turned on. It should tell me in theory. Maybe. Yeah, I think I would mostly just continue hunting random items. I like that those feel nice and completable. I think if I was trying to get like 100% of the Mog from, say, BRD, I think that could get kind of ugly. I think that could get kind of awful. As long as I'm hunting random things, it seems like I'm getting lots of stuff along the way. Font of Night. sleepy, girl. Now that I've moved my laundry chair into my office, I no longer have a place to cast my throw pillows that live on top of the bed when I'm not sleeping in it. I might just need to keep the floor really clean, so I don't mind putting them on the floor. Sometimes I like to make a nest in pillows and then read books there. Pillows and the occasional plushie. I have a couple of plushies that that aren't even WoW plushies, that are just for cuddles, just for nesting, you know. Don't get the concept of throw pillows. They're quite divisive. I used to be team no extraneous pillows, but I discovered that when I have them on top of a made bed, it makes me feel all fancy, like I'm staying at a hotel, and I enjoy that feeling enough. And also the duvet cover set that I bought came with throw pillow covers, and when I got throw pillows and I put them in there and I set up the bed with it, I felt so happy, and it seemed so cute and so luxurious. And I also do sometimes lounge on top of it with them. It's not that they never fulfill a pillow function. Partners collecting various wild animal plushies as we visit national parks. We're gonna need a barn. But yeah, it does make a bit of a mess just chucking them off the bed at night when it's time to actually go to sleep. Do you make your bed every day? Mm-hmm. Not always first thing in the morning, but I cannot get into the bed to go sleep or nap if it has not been made. So the last, if nothing else, I will make it at night or at nap time before I go back to bed. Because I will, and I've changed in this too. I didn't used to be like this. When I was like a teenager and a young adult, I would just nest in an unmade bed. I would just burrow into a pile of loose, untucked blankets, and I would sleep like a groundhog. But nowadays, I can't do it anymore. I need the sheets and the blankets to be not like fully tucked in necessarily, but at least like square and even and not like wildly askew. Otherwise, I get tangled and it upsets me. Okay, so Crinkle really did her best. She did the most. She tried. She did not get them out. We did get a few pieces of loot from all these folklers. I have to decide if I want to continue doing folklers for more Mog, or do I want to just like slam the rest of our skips. Have to be careful getting into bed. We have a blanket burrowing kitten. Fully tucked in, so restraining. Well, there's like home tucked in, and then there's hotel tucked in. I admit to not preferring the hotel level of tucked in, where you are compressed. You feel like you're being vacuum sealed for freezing later. Do you remember Voodoo Garden? Are you going back through my like ultra old back catalog? I think I mildly remember Voodoo Garden, but I think I might be mistaking my memory for a different game. It's truly shocking that those videos never achieved worldwide acclaim. Oh, you're in search of the back couch. You want to go back to old news videos, like the Saturday vlogs is what you're after. Just keep scrolling back in that playlist long enough and you'll get there. Can I buy anything? That's the other thing with the World Drop Grey BOEs is sometimes I just buy them. Or sometimes I just buy like shields if need. Sealed plate shield. Oh my gauntlets. World Drop plate. World Drop plate. World Drop plate. Etheric shield. How do I not have that yet? She might actually be able to use that. Sure. Dressed for its own draw. Cool. Yeah, I make gold when I'm running these raids, and then I promptly spend it all buying BOEs that are under 1k. Okay. sure her item level's good. Okay. New shield. New shield. Boots. Shoulders. Gloves. Belt. And then another shield. And we put our gear back on. And now I'm happy to vendor all that stuff. Sometimes if I get too warm, I need to put the sheets half on and half off. Typically, in that case, my move is to have the side of the bed sheet untucked so that you can extend the ventilation leg, which is the single leg you extend from beneath your bed and then flop it on top so that via, you know, airflow and your femoral artery, you can achieve bodily cooling. I've been inside for too long. Inksy's turn. Can I Mog It is the add-on that shows if collected with the check mark in your bags. Twitch is buckling right now. I've heard, yeah, it seems, what's happening specifically? What is it, like the actual stream playback, or is it just all of the UI that's crumbling? 424, so her gear's fine. BOE, collected this appearance not from this item. Oh, you know what I need to do though? Is I need to stop by the bank and I need to put her Papal Fez away because I even though I have the appearance collected, I still want to keep that one just for memories, and it will get vendored if I leave it in my bag. So I'm gonna use scrap, but I'm also gonna go check that in my bank. Stream's fine, but none of the rest of the UI is. Everything is gone. Minimalist Twitch. I was making her just like a casual mog, just for her little video in the news, her little cameo in the news video last night, and I kind of love it. I think this is one of the free t-shirt day t-shirts, but she's me. She's me in a crop top. With a hoe. Gardening hoe. Yeah, we've made it to 11:15. We've managed to successfully complete some amount of stream. Wow, my bags are pretty empty. Oh, hey! I finally waited long enough for the blood cell stuff that I farmed to be learnable. Fancy that! That's funny. I stashed that stuff in my banks being like, maybe one day, and I completely forgot that I had done that. Blood cell. Yeah. Patience. Discipline. Forgetting things in your bank. One day's today. What was I doing? I was sticking my Papal Fez away so I don't lose it. That's what I was doing. I also don't really want to lose this. I don't think I will, but just in case. So this guy, you stay in there. The rest of this stuff I think I can all lose. Barter bricks. Oh, did we turn scrap on? I'll just do skip clears in this character because I do want to get through more of my Gul'dan kills, and I'm pretty sure I have a lot of cloth in there already because I actually rated his cloth in this expansion. So we'll turn on Leatrix. We'll also turn on. Oh no, scrap's on. Good. Why is there a Triceratops on your bank? Oh, that's my bonus mount. That's my extra Horadon. I'm just impressed I put it in my bank instead of carrying it around in my bag so I can link it to people. That would be my extra. I was farming for the G-Kun mount. That was a good eye. I was farming for the G-Kun mount, and I got an extra spawn of Horadon to drop, and I already had it learned, and I didn't have anybody to give it to because I ran the raid by myself, and I thought, I keep bonus mount. This is shirt 2 of 2. That is true. I thought when I was pulling it out of my drawer that I was back-to-back giraffe shirting it, but I also thought I must wear a giant comfy shirt today. Yesterday's giraffe shirt was really cute, but I was so uncomfortable. I regretted wearing it. I took it off as soon as stream was over. I was like, I thought I could do this, and I can't. I can't. It's not even a super tight shirt. I've gotten so used to the big cozy ones that I don't like not wearing them anymore. No, we're not going to Stormwind after all. We're going, first of all, to see how much of my bag space I can decimate with scrap. Interesting that it didn't sell the white cape that's soulbound. I wonder if my scrap settings are character specific. I think they might be. Add on scrap. Yeah. So let's uncharacter specific that. Unusable and low equipment. And coin icons. Might need to reload. Why was it uncomfortable? Was the neck too long? Multiple G-Coons. Haven't got the horror down mount yet. I have a lovely, super soft, very comfortable black turtleneck sweater that I didn't wear at all last winter because every time I put it on, I thought, who am I, Steve Jobs? And I don't know why I didn't think of that when I like bought the sweater, but it's lovely. But it's also it makes me look like I'm trying to disappear as like a theater background stagehand because it's a turtleneck and it's pitch black. I can't get rid of it though; it's too soft. It feels too nice to wear. Besides, turtlenecks are like life-saving when you're cold. Oh. Happy Catterday? Happy Catterday, honey bun. Obligatory cat decks. You can carry on. Hi. She's just living her best life. We'll do Mythic first. Maybe Gul'dan will give them out. It could happen. I have an extra feast recipe. I think I should just vendor that. It's a soulbound recipe. There's no reason I would need to cook that on my priest. I have a different feast recipe. I might even have that same feast recipe on my evoker. What plushies do you have on the shelf? All of them. Except for the 3 Murlocs that I stuck on the chair. All of them except for the recent ones. I haven't bought the last couple of plushies they've released because I realized I had enough plushies and I wanted to save my money. But I have you know, the Wonderworks Toy Shop plushies and the Dottie Alpaca and the Shadow and a number of different Murlocs and Whelps and enough plushies? Blasphemy. I know, right? It just occurred to me that there wasn't any purpose that having more, at least of the WoW plushies, there wasn't any purpose that that having more of them. There's nothing that I can't do right now that I could do if I had just one more WoW plushie. Although I do appreciate how easy they are to move. It's nice having a collectible thing that's not super fragile. Like when it's a bit ungracious, but when I have moved with them, I have literally loaded them into a trash bag and then put a special piece of tape on it to indicate that it's not trash to myself. And then just hauled them like Santa Claus in a sack over my back because they're plushies. They're not like figurines. Very difficulty mythic, and they've all made it. If you could have any of the WoW statues, which one would you take? Honestly, controversial answer, I don't want any of them. I'm not big on heavy, delicate, sharp collectibles. They collect dust and they're not really my decor style. I love collecting things in game. I don't really want the physical statues. I had an opportunity once to get one of those promo statues as part of like a influencer gift, and I tried to, as politely as possible, ask them to find somebody else who it would mean more to, because I am trying to declutter, not reclutter. Oh, hang on. Hang on a second, I gotta set up an appointment. Conversation about maple syrup and mousse so far. You guys aren't gonna believe it. Kira did a great job while you walked away. Kitty cat, I got bad news. I'm about to have my life ruined. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. What am I doing? Nighthold? Go ahead and steal that giraffe shirt. Yeah, it's really good news. I can't believe that. I'm getting a puppy. I can't believe they picked me. I don't know how I'm gonna sit through stream tomorrow. I'm gonna be so sleep deprived for like the next 8 months. I'm gonna go meet him tomorrow, but they really liked my application and they want me to be this puppy's dog mom. Not about maple syrup and a mousse. No, like a puppy. I'm not sleeping for... Oh, man. Kitty's lived with a dog before. And the one nice thing about a puppy is because I'm going to set up like kind of a puppy pen, at least at first, to kind of help work on house training and to help socialize. That means that she can have a barrier between her and the dog without needing to get baby gated off. I have a baby gate, but I'm going to do a pen barrier as well. Oh my God. Yeah, I've been doing a lot of research. I've been doing an awful lot of research. I'm probably not going to introduce to stream in anytime soon. I think that I especially want office to be one of Cat's safe areas for a long time. No sleep? Puppies have to get up in the night. They're like babies. They have to go outside pretty regularly. I'm gonna be cranky. I'm gonna have puppy blues. I'm gonna say, why did I get this land shark? I love it so much. Why won't it stop biting me? I've read like a bajillion stories about people looking after and house training and crate training and separation anxiety training and leash training. Clicker training. It's a mixed dog. They have a guess on it, but I would probably need to do a DNA test to sort it out for sure. Spent a week and a half on the sleep on the floor next door because she screamed when she couldn't see anyone. Lord Woofington. I'm gonna be he has a name already that I kind of love, but I need to meet him and probably live with him for a bit to figure out if there's any of the other names on my list that would fit. I'm gonna be so busy. Hope it will be medium-sized. He might even become... It's hard to say because he's a baby and he's mixed and they're not sure exactly what he's mixed with because he's a shelter puppy. which is another reason I'm floored that they picked me, because I bet you anything there's been a lot of people trying to adopt that dog. But I think he might be large. I think he might be a big boy. I'm so excited. No, you command for puppy pics. I don't know if I want to post him right away. I might want to keep him all to myself. I don't want to make him too shy, you know, his first week. Medium hair. Medium hair. I don't know. I've seen some Labradors that are approaching Newfie size. They can be big enough. Yeah, I've heard a lot of good things about crate training. At least done correctly, and not just done as a place to put the dog when you don't want it loose. Can confirm, have seen 100+ pound labs. I got a phone call last night after I'd applied for that dog, and I was like looking at my phone being like, hello, is this dog? And it was like a spam call, and I was grumpy because I had wanted I was like, there's no way they're gonna call me, but like, hello? Woof. Imagine if you picked up the phone to get a shelter call back and it was like the dog on the line. Hello, is this dog? I need to make a list of things to do today. Name him Gul'dan the Mountain Drop. Puppy. Dungeon difficulty, raid difficulty. There's no way I can nap today now. It's just not gonna happen. Sending you all the mount luck. Oh man. I have to pretzel. I think my dream dog is a Bernese mountain dog. Large, fluffy, friendly. One day, if I ever have like a big property for him to look after, I would love to get a Pyr or a Pyr mix, like a Pyrenees. They're like livestock guardian dogs, so they have some special needs too, but they're not as, like, they're huge, but they're for the most part just wanting to keep an eye on things. Hi, sweetheart. Puppy spreadsheet. Watch the mount drop now. Yeah, I'm in an apartment. which was all on the application, they know. I think they're probably happy to have somebody or a pair of people that are home all the time that can help work on socialization and house training and stuff. Nightspire. Things might get destroyed. Closer to a bear the better. Had a Pyrenees when I was a little kid. She was so gentle. Hope it doesn't get too big. Sometimes big dogs are better apartment dogs than people think, because not all big dogs are going to be crazy high energy. I'm sure this one is going to be pretty high energy because he's a baby. So the walks and the hikes and the runs will all be really good. But one of the nice things about such a young dog is that even though I'm sure it's going to be difficult and it's going to take some time and patience, I can introduce him to all of the different things so that he's seen them before as a young dog. So I can do like a very slow introduction to cat, but I can do an introduction to cat, and I can be like, this is hiking, and this is the neighborhood, and this is fishing, and this is the car, and this is the vet. And we can take it as slow as we need to, but he shouldn't have, he's been a pretty lucky pup so far, so it's not like adopting a street dog. I like your short hair. Oh, thank you. We have Pure Lab mix from the shelter. She's great. Is this dog or dog? Puppy. Puppy. Pet the puppy. Train the puppy. Take the puppy outside. Play WoW with puppy. Yeah, my collecting might suffer a little bit. My all the things percentage may grind to a halt. Get gnawed on by the puppy. I have a feeling I'm going to get chewed on. I think that my days of greeting all the community kitties in my walks might be behind me. I think that they will be rightfully cautious of approaching someone that has a doggy. As a sacrifice they gotta make. LA, no. No. Keep anything important that you love high off the floor for a while. Yeah, I've been moving stuff around and making preparations, and yeah, I've got a busy day ahead of me. Hide your wires. High percentage near priest? They will keep hidden in bushes, look into them while pup sniffs. How I found one. Speaking of wires, how is your wire management? What, are you coming here to brawl? Well, I need to mail that belt. I've got a BOE that I can mail to my priest. My wire management, I would say, is a 5 out of 10. An effort was made. Not a good effort, but an effort was made. I don't have any plans to go to BlizzCon, no. Oh, I broke a plate today. Oh, I'm sorry. Isn't this a priest? This is a priest. Oh, yeah. That's true. New name, keeping the name? Hard to say yet. I don't want to say the name because you'll love it, because his shelter name is very cute. But I need to meet him, get to know him, and see if any of my shortlist names. One of my shortlist names sticks out to me too, so we'll have to see. Oh, see you later. Okay. Is it your cheek? All the things is the authority on collecting. It is the most comprehensive add-on that I've found. There are other add-ons that do a good job with different individual niche parts of the game, but All the Things is phenomenal, especially for transmog collecting, at showing you the things that you still need from a given place. Yeah, I'm gonna go meet him tomorrow afternoon. I need to make a list. I need a pen. What is it, 1140? I have one more character that can do skip clears, but I don't think I can do 3 skip clears in... Actually, this is my first one, too. This is Mythic still, so... Oh, no, this isn't Mythic. This is Heroic. Because I'm having dinner with my mom tonight. And then I'm streaming tomorrow morning. And then I'm going to go get Puppy. So all of the rest of my preparations... That's shocking to me that it's just like a pick 'em up tomorrow kind of thing. They sounded really excited too. Yeah, I have a list of all of the things, and I have been getting things, so I have a lot of things already. But things that were specific to like the size of the dog, things like bowls and beds, I didn't have yet. And I wasn't sure if I was going to end up with a puppy or with an adult dog, so I hadn't gotten some of the puppy specific stuff. But I read the training book. Yeah, no, I just gotta go out. Gotta go out today. No, I'm gonna go meet him tomorrow, and what they were telling me is that if that goes well, then I can bring him home tomorrow. Especially because I live locally in the area. It's a puppy that's being fostered or that was up for adoption in Victoria, so I can bring him to like his neuter appointment and whatnot. Next day, unexpectedly, had a new dog. Doggy. Okay. Give me the rest of your puppy advice. What do you got? I've learned a lot about, I've already done a lot of research about house training and about crate training. I, from my own life experience, know an awful lot about pre-separation anxiety training of just very, very carefully and slowly raising amounts of exposure to being alone for at least a little bit, but I don't think we need to do that for when he's baby, at least not for very long. Handle paws, brush teeth. Obviously not all on the first day. I'm not going to like get the dog and be like, squish the feet, brush the teeth, throw the dog, run with the dog. We'll take it at doggy's comfort level, and he's still just a baby, so you can't do everything on the first day. But patience and then more patience. Yeah, I think the thing that I'm gonna remember, or try my best to remember, is that even though there's all the things that you want to do right, and I'm gonna do my best to do all the things right, but Puppy is just a baby, so you can't expect him to be perfect. Really ever, because he's also like a, living creature. But it's not all gonna happen on the first day. Yeah, I'm gonna look online, I think, and make some some socialization checklists, and try to come up with lots of different places to take him and things to do where he can meet lots of different types of people and doggies. They have been socializing him. He's not like 12 weeks or anything. I think he might be 4 months old now, maybe something in that range. So baby, but like, different people. He's got to learn how to play with different dogs. I'm thinking puppy classes. Toddler. Oh yeah, teething toys. That's true, teething toys. I know that your shoes are no longer safe. Did you say how old he is? I believe he's in the 4-month-ish range. Happy for you getting pupper. Why do you squish the feet? Not squish the feet specifically, but it's, at least with Kitty Cat, it was good to get her used to having her paws handled so that I could trim her nails, and I imagine that's going to be similar with a doggy. Get used to and reinforced from her board to having different things handled to make veterinarian grooming care easier. Dark Enforcer, thank you for the 36-month resub. Mixed breed puppy dog. Mixed breed shelter puppy dog. Pup was a heavy chewer, learned to direct his energy into the toy. What are their favorite kind of chew toys? Is a Kong gonna be too big for his little mouth? He might need like more of like a chewy, sticky looking things. Let's find somewhere they do playtime afterwards. Yeah. They have baby Kongs, they make puppy Kongs. Okay. Put things out didn't want her to touch. Leave it as your best command. Oh, that's a good idea. Working on resource guarding. There's a section on that in the dog training book that I read. I read a book, and I'm midway through my reread of the book about dog training. They have different sections for all of the main things, training like recall and all kinds of stuff. Don't give it all in the beginning. They get bored. Change it up. Toy rotation. It'll be particularly important since Puppy will be wanting to eat the cat food. Yeah. First reread or fifth. I've heard of like the frozen peanut butter Kongs. I've also heard of lick mats as well. I think it's a good thing that my cat really mostly just wants water. Am I gonna let him swim in outdoor water? Yes, I should teach him how to swim. If he wants to swim, because I know some dogs don't like it. There's also one thing that you have to be careful of here is that sometimes the lakes will have algae blooms that make them unsafe for swimming, and they'll have... I usually keep on top of that anyways when I'm nearby the lake, but I would keep extra on top of that if Doggy's with me, because you don't want to make Doggy sick. But I do know that you have to help puppies learn how to swim too. I'll make a big list. It'll be okay. I have got this. Baby. I wonder if I could ever train him to do agility. We could go to the park really early, and we could work on. Well, I guess they don't really have the equipment. Can you imagine me bringing a bunch of agility equipment? Like I've got like the weaving poles and stuff, and I'm just like trucking them over to the park at like 4 in the morning. All right, bud. It's time to work. Gul'dan is a mount. I'm looking for the Fellblaze Infernal, the green Infernal. You can? Positive reinforcement. Treat only is strategy training. There better be lots of pictures. Happy doggy. From what I've read about him, he seems like a very eager to please, happy, food-motivated doggy that is quite smart and quite trainable. So I think as long as I put some really good patience and effort in, I think we should be able to overcome any of our major challenges. Those Gul'dan shoulders are available in Blackrock on Cromog. Yeah, I think I'm bringing him home tomorrow. I'm gonna be way too much. I need to Google how to meet dogs. I know how, but I need to look it up again. I need to make sure I don't do anything wrong. I don't want to offend him. Good, trainable, food motivated. Sounds like me. I want to train recall, but I'm not planning off leash. There are specific areas where it's legal to have a dog off leash here, and lots of people have dogs off leash in places that it's not legal, but that doesn't sound like me. I'd like to work on recall, but you can work on recall with like really long leashes within parks too. Can you tell us what color he is? I'm sure I will be unable to resist posting pictures, at least to the Instagram story. His doggy color. Yeah. Some of the dogs, not necessarily this one, although I'm sure it's important with lots of dogs, but some of the doggies that I was looking at were more of like nervous dogs that might have been flight risks. So I was looking into different things like GPS collars, and there's little clips that you can get that will clip a dog's harness to his collar to make it harder for him to wriggle out of it. I was reading up a lot on how to not lose a dog that is determined to escape. Rate difficulty. Oh, that was normal? Did I do them all? I do them on this character? Pre-made? No. Read info. Nighthold. Yeah, we did our Nightholds. Okay. You can go back. Go back home. Dogs have done that. Slip out of harnesses. The different... it's apparently really common, especially if you're just bringing home like a rescue dog that used to be like a street dog in another country, or that's like nervous and has developed a habit of running away for their own self-preservation. They're apparently very slippery. So some people will put like a t-shirt on over the dog's harness, or put on 2 harnesses, or there's some harnesses that are harder to escape than others that they can't back out of. I did not time how long one character takes. Oh yeah, that's nice. Huh. Did I not tell it to sell artifact relics? I thought I did. Longlean play fetch with Ball. He's so focused he stays with us. Yeah, I know all pups will have their own personality and their own specific things that they're good at and things that are tough for them. And I'm excited to meet mine and find out everything about him. He's a boy dog. I guess Joker was a boy dog too. Connect harnesses and color together with carabiners, some extra strapping. Yeah, that was kind of what I was looking into. People review that well. What am I looking at? I'm going to see if there's any stuff. Armor, uncollected, usable. Oh yeah, I need to take a cloth character shopping in Orgrimmar. Also, apparently I'm missing some wands. Let's just go to Stormwind. Let's just go to Stormwind and buy a few wands. I don't know if the puppy was born in rescue. I'll find out more about that tomorrow, I think. The text on his profile said that they had a tough start to life, so they're a little bit shy at first, but that they're warming up a lot with love and good care. So I think that maybe they weren't born in rescue. I think they might have been born somewhere else. Okay. I was going wand shopping in Starwind. Love streets. A lot of distractions got him, so we focused that into the ball. Yeah, Joker was a bit challenging in that respect too, in that he wasn't super. He liked treats, but he only liked specific ones, and he only kind of liked them. So it was, if you were trying to compete with anything that was at all distracting, it was not going to outcompete the treat, or like the treat was never going to win. However, I never tried, and he had kind of a sensitive tummy too, so you couldn't just, some people will give their dogs like extra attractive things in small amounts just for the sake of training. And he had such a sensitive tummy that you couldn't really get away with that. Yeah, people say things about like hot dogs and cheese, which I'm sure is not the healthiest thing for doggy, but in small amounts for like a super high reward thing for training, I could see the appeal of it. Smoldering one, there we go. But yeah, some doggies' tummies just can't handle it at all. There was a pitty that I was looking at for a bit that had the food allergies and had to be on like a very specific kibble, but apparently he loved toys, so you could, instead of rewarding with treats, you could reward with toys. Made grilled chicken, cut into pieces. I may end up doing that, and it's going to be really funny because it'll be the first time I've ever cooked chicken in my life, because I'm a pescatarian. I don't eat chicken, but I'll buy it for my pets. It's not like I'm about to have a pescatarian dog. Dog had an affinity for gorgonzola and red wine. Just can't imagine putting hot dogs in her cart. Yeah, no, I think I gotta go. I will be back tomorrow. And I won't have puppy yet because I'm getting puppy tomorrow afternoon, hopefully, fingers crossed. I'll be back tomorrow. I don't know how I'm going to sit still. We're going to figure it out. I appreciate your company. Thank you so much for joining me. If you want updates, follow the Instagram. I may not post anything, but if I do, it will be on that, probably on the story. That's not a command. Instagram? Is that a command? Socials. I got nothing. It's Hazelnutty Life is the tag. Appreciate you guys, and I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful day. Bye.